Late Night Grin. Also, what does that name mean?
Hello, and welcome to the Late Night Grin. This is Late Night Grin number 125, AEW All Out predictions and preview. I am Confirmed Shoot. I'm joined by what is quickly becoming the go-to unit for AEW. One might call them the Fleet Four. Joe Holbert, you may know him from various... I lost my train of thought. That's hard. How do you do that every week?
I know what your train of thought was, and you did a stagger step, which I appreciate. I respect it.
Yes, you know exactly what happened there.
And, times are changing, but I'm here nonetheless. Honestly, very nice. You did lose your way, but what a start you made there, honestly, right?
I had a bit. My planned bit was to say the Oracle of Wrestling was here, but then the Oracle of Wrestling wasn't here, but now the Oracle of Wrestling's here.
Is here.
Hello, the Oracle of Wrestling.
Hello.
But my plan was to do like an NPR intro where I talked really slow and quietly, and I got about halfway
those
through.
Those damn libs, huh?
Yeah. I got halfway through the song, and I was like, I can't fucking do that.
Yeah. So then you just did an intro.
Yes.
What if we rotated it?
I'm finishing up Rampage here. I was just in the shower. I knew I'd be a little late in classic Oracle fashion. And
classic Oracle fashion.
Monster War can go, can he? He can.
Yeah, he's good.
He can go, man.
The match is fun.
He's a good wrestler.
MXM are fucking awesome, dude. They're a great act. They would have killed it in like early 90s WCW.
I got really mad at the start of that match. They almost lost me with like the overly ridiculous judge shit, but they got me back.
Oh yeah, the
quick.
judge stuff. Yeah.
The judge, Jeff Jones.
No, relax.
Didn't he work there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He runs the social media.
Well, never mind. I retract that shout out to him.
One of the strengths of the promotion, their social media.
It's kind of crazy he hasn't done a cameo, right? It feels like something Tony would do. Like just randomly.
Think anyone knows who he is.
When has that ever stopped him?
True. It's true. So they killed Ishii tonight.
Killed him?
Yeah, he's dead.
No, he took a nap, I thought.
Who killed him?
Your favorite, Chris Jericho.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they wrote him off the show.
Yeah, they killed him.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to Tomohiro Ishii and Judge Jeff Jones. In that case, maybe they can come back together.
Oh, the chat's got some speculation that we won't address.
No, we're not going to address the chat saying that Jeff Jones has been released from AEW because we don't know that's the case.
Yeah.
So either way, Jeff, whether you're with AEW or not, mate, we covered a showing of yours recently on Grin Grappler, 7 Squashes of Sid, and we were quite mad about it. So,
Joe Holbert,
shout out to you. Yes, mate.
How are you doing tonight?
Loaded question. Interesting week. Right, Shoot? Interesting week.
Yeah.
Roller coaster ride. I've made it. I forgot Collision was on because usually it's on Saturday and this is not Saturday. So I slept through Collision and then didn't have time to catch up on Collision. And then I was going to watch Rampage. And then you were like, Rampage is actually a continuation of Collision. And I was like, but then I won't be able to watch the... So then I didn't watch that. And then next thing I knew, I just listened to a WCW podcast and didn't watch any of the wrestling.
Make something clear to you, Joe.
Please do, yeah.
Mark Briscoe is outstanding. Everything else is... And the main event's fun, but everything else is not that. Like, it's not like must-see. Would you agree with that?
Oh, hold on. Takeshita and Mortos is pretty fucking beautiful.
I like that match, but y'all like that better. Joe, you would probably like that match more than me. That's fair. That's fair.
I had circled that and the Mark
Briscoe. I didn't love that match.
The must-watch matches, yeah. But
Deanna.
I
Mark
appreciate
Briscoe was.
Shida
We
is
can all
not-
agree Mark Briscoe was
Oh,
in peak
He's,
form, right?
you know the thing about Mark Briscoe, he's honestly one of the best wrestlers in the world.
That match was
Legitimately.
great. The
Yeah.
Atlanta Parker match.
I wonder if there's enough depth to build a Mark Briscoe Wrestler of the Year case. Like, you know, one of those ones that we always campaign for that he's not going to win, but we always do. We always have one, right?
Isn't there something called the Fleet 50?
Ooh.
That's a good point. The Fleet 50, yeah. There you go.
That I will
Fleet
actually,
50?
I'll be participating in 2 50s.
Wow. You're going to do both?
coming
The
year.
big two?
Oh yeah.
Okay, who's
And then I will
currently
never be doing
in
it again because there's no way I'm doing this shit in 2025.
who's currently the one seed in the New York 50?
hold on. This is an AEW program, Joe.
I know, but this is interesting.
Stunning, but you know.
Kind of, yeah. The title change. Carmelo Hayes has still got a shot. So,
Danielson's going to win the Fleet 50 by like.
yeah, well, that goes without saying. Yeah. I might give it to Roddy.
He wins it every year, doesn't he?
Yeah. All right. Anyway, hello, Matt. Are you still hosting, or am I hosting? Now?
I can host some more.
Go on, mate. Go for it.
Novi, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing quite well.
Kaden, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Joe, you can host now.
Good pacing. All right, I like it. Oracle, are you good?
Oh
already
yeah,
asked
I'm great.
I don't know. I haven't asked him. I don't know. Caden, are you all right?
I saw Beetlejuice. I enjoyed it.
You saw Beetlejuice, you mean?
Yeah,
I saw Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is the
I saw the
original.
sequel.
I have to be honest. The fact that that film doesn't have bad reviews is like, it's like the equivalent of my team winning the Super Bowl for you guys, you know?
It's supposed to be really good.
I need to preface it by saying I would not call it really good. I would say it's a very fun time.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah,
Which is the
there's-
best you can
That's
hope
a lot
for.
of it, you know. We
Yeah.
don't expect
Yeah.
brilliance. We
Oh
expect
yeah, I
fun.
had to within like 15 minutes of the movie. I was like, I cannot keep critiquing this thing. I just gotta focus on having fun.
I mean, Tim Burton 2024. I mean, I was very concerned it would be deeply embarrassing. So the fact it's fun, I'll take that every day of the week. Novi,
Joe-
hello. Yes?
Go ahead, Novi. Say whatever you want to say, as long as it's not
Well-
about the Young Bucks.
Hello, Joe. The Young Bucks are pretty good, huh? They might be back, maybe.
I've heard that. I got text about that, yeah.
Mm.
No, you didn't.
So, what's you going to say, confirm sheet?
I was going to ask if you saw the trailer for Wicked.
I did not see the trailer for Wicked. Was it a good trailer for Wicked?
It was. Did anyone else see that?
I
No.
I had a conversation with my friend about it earlier today.
Good or
Did
bad?
you like it?
I hate it. I
Oh
hate
wow!
I hate the marketing.
Hey, speaking
Wow.
of stuff,
The marketing.
one
Listen to the
TV show,
kids.
one TV show I know, Joe Holbert watches. Have you begun season 4 of Only Murders in the Building?
I have, and let me tell you something. If there was any dip in form in season 3, they have come out of the gate swinging, bro. I think this thing has been electric thus far.
Oh, it's
been
good,
on
isn't it? It's fucking
Yeah.
good, bro.
I agree.
Really good. I think it's been very, very
You watch
strong.
it,
I'm
too?
not concerned
No, I've
this-
never
this
seen it.
started
No?
too
Oh,
strong.
it's great. It's great.
I love me some Only Murders in the Building. That's Oracle's right. That's like the only TV show I watch. Other than, of course, AEW Dynamite live on TBS. Speaking of such, I don't know if I watch that anymore either, but speaking of such, we're here, believe it or not, folks, to preview All Elite Wrestling presents All Out live from Chicago. Now, of course, last year this event was famous for hosting the Late Night Grins live show. There wasn't really a show at all. We just went to the wrestling show and took a
Oh,
handful of
no.
photos. What?
Got the network icon going.
Have you really?
Yeah, I haven't had that in months.
Wow. Because you hosted, I think.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to leave and go play video games.
That should fix it. Keep us updated. But this year we're back. Well, no, we're not. We're not back, but they are back. Kind of. They're in a different building actually. But they're going to do a wrestling show here tomorrow night on pay-per-view. And it seems to me that the conversation around this show is very positive. Of course, we're on the heels of Wembley and a triumphant night for
I don't know,
American
Joe. They're getting
Dragon.
sued, bro.
True. Good point. We're going to talk
Only
about that
6,000 tickets sold.
We'll talk. Apparently 7 now. We'll talk
okay.
about that on. We'll do that upon the paywall. The lawsuit breakdown.
Yeah, true.
Did you guys pop for Jim Ross going full like I work for Stanford with his response to it? Because
Yeah.
that was just incredible consistency as a person, Jim
He
Ross.
can
Right?
still
Like,
play the
just-
hits when he wants to.
Oh yeah, totally. Bro thought he was head of talent relations again. So here we are. Lots of excitement for this. Of course, this time around a 2-week build rather than a 1-week build. And I think that's shown. I think there's a lot of positivity going into this card. We don't need to do a temperature check, God forbid. I just want to know, Novi. Novi, are you excited for the show tomorrow?
I'm very excited for the show tomorrow. It looks like a really fun card. A lot of good matches on there that I'm looking forward to. So I think that's about the best you can ask for from a 2-week build, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're kind of... I think this has actually proved to be a very smart choice. The way they've done this, in the sense that Hangman and Swerve could easily just be like microwaved is a mild way of putting it, considering what they did on Wednesday. But right, you could easily get back to it and make it feel like a major deal, which it does feel. You know, with 24 hours out from when you said the main event will be, it feels like a massive deal. So I think that's a credit to the way they kind of position things here. Oracle, I know you're going to be on our Grin Along tomorrow on LNG Gold.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling going into this show?
My feelings depend on, particularly my animosity toward Novi, depending on the outcome of the game tomorrow. Other than that, go Cox. They'll probably lose.
Yeah.
But this is a good show. I think there's going to be a lot of bloodletting, which is, when there's blood in a match, that usually is immediate 4 stars for me. Regardless of the quality. Otherwise, it's usually an immediate 4. So there's that. I think 2 matches in particular will probably feature a lot of gruesome bloodletting, which is the Chicago Street Fight and
I'm looking
the
forward to that
Cage
match.
Force, which I believe is the rumored main event.
Yes, sir.
So those 2 matches alone are some things I'm excited for. Willow and Kris's chemistry has been kind of shaky. They had one really good match, I thought, this year that wasn't great, but it was it was pretty solid, and the rest were kind of So I'm cautiously optimistic. I think there'll be blood and stuff, which is always a big plus for me. But I'm a little bit, I'm cautious about that one. I want it to be great, but I'm not so sure it will be. And then of course the main event has a a great build, great feud, and I think they're really gonna try to surpass what they did last November, and that's going to be fascinating to experience. With everyone. So, yeah.
That's the big.
Those are the 2 things I'm looking forward to. I mean, I think Mercedes and Shida could. I thought their first match was pretty good, but I don't know. Shida's really hit or miss nowadays.
Yeah,
so, really.
I agree. We'll obviously get to it to close, but I'm with you. I think that's kind of for nerds like us, the big hook for the main event is what could you possibly do?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we don't have high hopes. It's more that part of our hopes and our expectations are what have they got up their sleeve here? Because these guys, they've shown they've got no real limit. We could get something insane on tomorrow's show.
Their chemistry is insane too.
Yeah, so this is their 4th match, right?
Oh shit! I missed the finish with Rampage, man. Hold on, let me go back.
Oh, man. To make sure you get for the
Oracle. There's 3 different spots in that match where someone gets dropped on their head, legitimately.
Yes, I did. I noticed that when I was going into my spiel, somebody got literally dumped on their head.
Mason almost dies. Buddy almost died. Real fucking graps, man.
Is Buddy okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
Good.
Got you worried there for a minute?
Yeah, I was concerned. Kaden, hello? Do you like wrestling? What do you think of this show?
I do like wrestling. I think. I don't know. I didn't watch Dynamite this week. I did watch Collision and Rampage. I told Novi before we started.
I'm new to the roster, bro. I'm telling you, the Oracle and I don't have to watch the TV. But you got to study, man. Come on.
I told Novi, I was I sat down to watch Dynamite. I just couldn't do it today. I was I'm about to watch Collision and Rampage. I can't do Dynamite on top of that.
Dynamite fucking sucked. Oh shit! I forgot we're not supposed to talk about temperature. Anyways, so let's talk about the show.
Exactly right.
I did watch the burning segment, but I am actually really excited for this pay-per-view. I went to Chicago also last year. That's where I saw Joe on a bus while I was in an Uber pulled up next to the bus. And I was a little disappointed in just the build and the card itself.
By Joe.
Kaden
I know the feeling, bro. I was holy fuck, this dude's 4'8".
Disappointed by the build of Joe Holbert. Just sitting there, like, look at this fat piece of shit. Look at this.
No, not the build of Joe, the build of thank you. Wrong build. But I did end up having a good time. I did have somebody from AEW tell me after, was like, yeah, I told you it was gonna be a good show. Shut the fuck up next time, basically, is like what I got told. And I had to eat my words a little bit. So I do think this looks like significantly better on paper. Quite honestly, I think like in terms of like just looking down the 8 matches that they have advertised for the main card, I think it is the best card top to bottom of the year for an AEW pay-per-view. It's not like the most heavy with like Danielson and Swerve at All In, or Sting's retirement, or Ospreay and Danielson at Dynasty, but I think like just there's no misses on this, especially with Jericho not being there for the first time since first pay-per-view he's missed since All Out 2023, ironically, or at least like we hope that he like stays off this card.
Yeah,
There's still time.
There's still time. There's still time. I'm gonna keep my hopes low.
I think you'll find.
Joe,
Yeah,
he stole Orange Cassidy's backpack tonight.
That'll be good. I
That's
look forward to that
angle.
match.
He said he's got a giant pair of scissors. Better watch
Joe,
out.
Joe, what do you think would be like the reason why Jericho would want to steal the backpack of Orange Cassidy?
Loaded question. I'm not going to say anything controversial because it's a new era. I don't know, Kaden. Why is that?
Remember when Orange Cassidy poured the orange juice on Jericho in the pandemic in August 2020?
Long-term storytelling.
Absolutely not.
Jericho still wants his $5,000 for the suit. That Orange
No, it's
Cassidy
seven.
I did see that. Yeah. Yeah, the Jericho thing is going to be an issue for as long as he is.
Yeah.
Orange implied tonight that the money was in his backpack.
Okay, that's based.
But then Jericho kind of didn't acknowledge that when he did his promo where he had the backpack, which was an interesting choice.
Less based. Yeah.
But you get what you get, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose so. I agree with your point, Kane. Like, I think I definitely preferred the Revolution card, but that says more about that card than this one. But I do agree with your point that this one has like no. But when I was getting ready for this show, which you can imagine the extensive preparation, I was ordering the card like what we should talk about, and it's like it's very. There's not a lot of stuff that you can see like filler here or throwaway. And even the stuff that is, I think, has a high ceiling. So I'm definitely with you. The confirmed shoot. I know you're very fired up. You were very positive texting me tonight.
I'm in a good place with professional wrestling right now, Joe.
Good for you, man. Shoot.
We'll see how long that lasts. But I'm excited for the show tomorrow. I'll be watching Ohio State at the same time. Luckily, they're playing Western Michigan, so I don't need to focus on that too much. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy this pay-per-view. I don't get to watch the next one because we're playing Oregon at the same time, and AEW can fuck off as far as I'm concerned when it comes to that game. But yeah, this looks like a really strong show. I'm excited to break it down, Joe Holbert. I'm excited to really dig into this show and talk about all the ins and outs and what's going on in All Elite Wrestling. Potentially some other factors.
We should like in about 10 minutes, once we've got through a couple of super chats, we should go, let's get right to it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Speaking of those super chats, thank you to Erica for becoming a member. And then we have
Just simply Erica.
Mid-Takes, who says, LNG presents 27 Never Look Sold.
Cook your ass.
Thanks,
Kind of got
Mid-Takes.
on there.
Chi-Town Spurs. One could argue Statlander has better chemistry with the dentist, of course, referencing Isaac Yankem, than Willow. What a strange world we live in. It's true, isn't it? The Kris Britt match was like a crazy miracle at the time because Britt looked. I mean, say what you will about Britt, but it was pretty obvious she was hurt leading into that match, and they had a really strong match. Yeah, interesting one.
What was that? Was that the
the SummerSlam match with Britt? Yeah.
Was that Arthur Ashe?
No, it was on Collision. It was a Collision main event.
Okay.
Yeah, it was when it was like Kris. The week
That was like the
after.
last match before she left, right? For a while.
Yeah, it was Kris. It was the day after the Jade match aired. Remember when Jade left the territory and put
Jade
Kris
got
over?
match. Yeah.
So she had like a 1-2 punch of a really good match with Jade Cargill and a really good match with Britt Baker. Kind of crazy. She should probably have a statue, but nonetheless, this is a good question from Lord Lambo, and we haven't got Bob to answer it. So I guess shoot's probably the best way. Like, shoot, what do they do with the light? Have you spoke to Bob about this?
I think what you're supposed to do is smash it and or punch it and or press it. If you're on a mobile device, you can tap it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's 4 ways right there.
Yeah, there's 4 different options. You may have saw me excitedly lean forward there.
I did.
My plan was to punch my desk, and then I decided that was a bad idea. So that's twice now tonight that I've reined myself in. We'll see if that lasts. Yeah.
It's a new era. Bolt media era here on the Late Night Grin.
Yes.
A glorious time to be a grinner. All right, should we get right into it?
No. I think we should. I've got a spreadsheet of upcoming AEW ticket sales I want to go over.
Oh.
I thought you would. Yeah.
And then what I've also got is I've got a PowerPoint presentation with projections of what the AEW TV deal that's going to be announced in the coming days looks like.
Have you sent it to Dave?
We're going to talk about that. And then the final thing that I have is a comparison between the drop in cable television viewership and the drop in AEW television viewership over the last fiscal year.
Which, as we know, would be the correlation there would be exact. There wouldn't be any variance in those numbers, right? Yeah.
So here
and our
we go.
special guest will be Brandon Thurston here to give us the.
I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe.
We also, I forgot about that. We're going to break down the top 10 merchandise sellers.
Is Danielson on there?
Seriously, though. Fix the fucking merch, bro. What are they cooking over there?
Hold on.
It's getting better.
It is getting better. They added a bunch of new people. They got a new Hangman shirt that was pretty good.
Oh, good.
They're doing better. It's starting to get better.
Because, like, seriously, as much as it popped me that 3 of the top 5 items were Blu-ray releases, there's no way that should be the case. I'm sorry to say.
Physical media is in. You did that.
In all seriousness, the fact that people are buying them and they're just pay-per-view replays, like, people would absolutely buy the best of Bryan Danielson. Like, I'm convinced of this. You have Ring of Honor. You literally bought the thing.
Joe,
I mean, imagine if we have in 2025 a best of Bryan Danielson, like 4-disc set with Ring of Honor stuff and AEW stuff.
Yeah.
They should put it out in B.
I mean, I know 2 people right here that would buy it right here. Yeah. One on the far right and one on the far left.
Best of Sam Joe. Best of AEW Collision.
Oh, baby.
Joe,
should we split it into Punk era and New era?
I've got ideas.
That one would be pretty short.
It'd be pretty sick, though.
No, it would, yeah.
It wouldn't be too short. They got some 30-minute tags on there. I don't know.
I wonder how much you could actually get out of the Punk. You couldn't get a set out of it, I don't think.
No.
I wonder. Be interesting.
Well, they got Luchasaurus versus
Brock Anderson, yeah.
Brock Anderson,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good
classic.
In all seriousness, AEW's TV shows are literally like built for these compilate. Like, you could do like 4 volumes of Best of Dynamite. Like, there's so many matches you could. Anyway, what was you gonna say, Shoot?
Best of Pillman. Joe, what was the date on that 1, 2, 3 kid?
9/11. What?
Bob's not even here, bro. The 1, 2, 3 kid Owen Hart match that you reviewed earlier, was that September of '94? Is that right?
August 14th, 94, I think.
Because Waldman was tweeting about that match earlier, I believe. That stuff keeps happening. Yeah, man. It's the late night grin continues to influence the world.
If they make a best of MJF, and they sell it on the shelves, it'll be like the one where, like, when I see Triple H's, I just ignore it and, like, well, you know, maybe not.
So yeah, we're going to talk about this pay-per-view in a second, folks. We've got a lot to get into.
We're going to jump right in, maybe?
In a minute. Yeah, in a minute we definitely are. I'm waiting for Shoot to share the spreadsheets on the screen, though. I assume it's coming up.
I already put them up.
Really? Are you
Yeah.
Are you just shared them to the gold members so they can add them to their own
exactly.
insight? Yeah. Like, by the way, speaking of the 1-2-3 Kid Owen Hart match, you're wearing an Owen Hart shirt, firstly. And secondly,
That is true.
for anyone who's
And
on
there's some
the
context clues
fence,
there.
from anyone who's on the fence about LNG Gold, 3 solo shows this week on the Joel Promotions tier. That's $1.99 a month. And I got to review some wrestling this week. The folks requested matches. Today's show included one final beat, the Gargano Ciampa horror show. But I also got to do that Kid match. I got to do Owens Austin, which I think is just spectacular. And I got to do a match from 1956 with featuring Vern Gagne, which was like
That
glorious.
sounded like a blast, honestly. I probably won't ever watch it, but I was tempted to.
It actually really was eye-opening in terms of like...
I believe it.
Yeah, because you hear something, you see, like, you get sometimes sold by these cliches about the way it was and the way it is, but there's still a lot of overlap if you look, and yeah, interesting.
Coming soon to Late Night Grin Gold will be Joe and I watching Nick Bockwinkel matches with Novi.
The best of Bok, best of Bok.
When are you doing Adam Scher and EC3?
I need to find it. That's the only problem, because I think the suggestion, was it your suggestion, Caden, the one of like the Righteous versus? I couldn't find it.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, it was Adam Scher and EC3 versus the Righteous.
Righteous,
yeah.
Once I find it, it will be added.
Oracle, have you seen that match?
No.
It sounds. I reckon you'd probably think it's pretty good. The Righteous, well, one of them's good.
Yeah.
Oracle, have you seen the match that Joe reviewed from 1954?
6.
56?
What is it?
It's a 6-man tag. Dick the Bruiser and the Lazowski brothers versus Wilbur Snyder, Argentina Rocker, and Vern Gagne.
Was it good?
Oh, it was godly. Godly. 40 minutes, 6-man, 2 out of 3 falls in Chicago.
Crosby was there.
Crosby was there. He was on commentary. So just to answer Cal's question, the LNG Gold can share match requests under any of our videos. We can see if you guys are members, so it'll be added to the list. The one thing I would say, if it's an older match, there are now like 50 matches on the list, so like it'll be a while. If it's a recent match, it will be on in the next couple of weeks. So, all right, should we get into it?
Let's do it. Let's talk about AEW presents All Out.
Raucous ovation from the crowd here. And wait, we had a super chat. Cal said, MXM versus The Claimed, we're the best wrestle.
Heart fire.
Well,
Oh yeah, you missed that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they set that match up tonight on Collision, kind of.
Is it for the paper, or is it just...
No, it's just, it's not.
You should watch the segment. You'd really like it.
The basis of the feud is that the Acclaimed are the only ones who do finger stuff.
Oh, okay.
They touch tips too.
Oracle said, okay.
Wait. Let's be clear for a second, because this is an Oracle pet peeve of mine. Okay.
An Oracle pet peeve of mine. Very good.
I hate when they wait and wait and wait, and then all of a sudden, I'm going to be busy watching football.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up Twitter.
Yep.
And Anthony Khan is going to go on X.com. And he's going to list off 3 or 4 fucking matches at 4:15 in the afternoon for the buy-in. Our podcast is right now.
Right.
So what Anthony Khan
there's a lot of evidence
right now is stop worrying about the Jags going 0-1 on Sunday. Get his ass.
He should operate with more awareness about the show.
Twitter machine.
Yep.
And give us the information we need so that we can provide people with borderline shitty, borderline fun entertainment for the next 90 minutes.
I agree. It would change our whole show. If he announced the 0-hour matches now, we wouldn't have done any small talk because we'd have to go through the card.
True.
This is his fault, what's happening right now.
I don't believe that match is going to be on the buy-in.
We don't know, Matt. And that mystery's frightening.
I hope not, because FTR are not on the buy-in.
Yeah, they did announce 2 0-hour matches. Or at
Wait,
least
there was
like,
a
one
second
was
one?
announced and the other was teased.
What was the tease one?
The Bang Bang Gang versus the
Oh,
King
that's right.
Dragon.
Yeah.
That might be okay, actually.
Yeah.
It will be, but you know.
Mhm.
Them Gun boys have come a
I've
long
seen
way.
it before.
Austin Gunn.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah, they have.
Austin Gunn's a good worker, man.
It's a good
They're-
team.
Yeah, they're actually quietly one of the big success stories of like young guys in AEW, to be honest. Right, so this I guess we won't talk about because they've not announced it. We'll talk about the other ones. The other one was Top Flight,
Hmm.
Undisputed Kingdom, and Mortos and STP, right?
Yes.
So
Stone Temple Pilots is teaming with Mordos?
Yes.
yeah,
Wait.
sorry, I was confused. I heard pilots, but you talk about Top Flight.
Uh,
So-
Nigel and
I
our
like
good
him.
friend Daddy Magic declared that Top Flight looked like strippers tonight.
Hmm.
That should help them.
Yep, they do. They do.
Getting it over.
That is proper like Dusty on Worldwide, seeing creative and going, well, hold on.
Yeah. Nigel made the joke, and Daddy Magic, as the baby face, just decided to agree with him.
Dude, Daddy Magic and Nigel, that's the way right there. That's
Daddy
the
Magic
way.
Fucking
Take
rules.
Tony off the collision commentary and just have it be Daddy Magic.
Well,
and
hold
Nigel.
on. Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not get hasty, but I see where you're going. I like the vision. Let's just be careful. Tony Schiavone is king, but I get what you're saying.
Tony was rough tonight.
Well,
Yeah. Let
was
go.
the charm.
Yeah, exactly. I like when Matt Menard will just randomly yell Friday night in the middle of matches.
He says
Fucking
boys a lot
rules,
as well.
man.
Because
Yeah.
it always says boys.
He's so good.
He rules.
Yeah, that's right. Tony, that was Tony's reply to the strippers.
Respect. So let's get right into it. Like the video, folks. Clearly, it deserves your
Punch it.
thumbs up.
Punch the like
it.
button. When it ends, leave comments. Don't forget.
There isn't much to say about this 0-hour match, but Roddy Strong's
A lot
in
of
it.
money on the
Novi,
line.
who do you think is going to win? Novi, excited for this one?
Is Roddy Strong in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Oh, he's
Hope
going to win.
so.
He's going to
Agreed.
win the match.
He's in
I
the
agree.
Undisputed Kingdom.
That's a good call, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be
He's
good.
very-
And
he's
Mortos will
very-
be good.
He's very mad that Mortos is teaming with STP now because he thought that they were.
He's not the
friends.
only one.
Yeah.
I like STP. But yeah, Roddy Strong should win. You're right. Good answer. Shoot, what do you think?
Top Flight's gonna win.
Caden? You're doing this like ESPN now.
They
Caden,
always
you go.
win when money's on the line, Joe.
True.
I got the strippers winning this one.
Respect. The Oracle of Wrestling, I'm sure you've really crunched the numbers on this one, mate. Who you got?
I mean, we know the makeshift team isn't winning, right? I mean, that's an immediate elimination from
Yeah.
victory there.
Mhm.
They never let the makeshift teams win, unless they give them a
STP.
name. Like they can, when Mark Briscoe gave his babyface team the conglomerate, we knew they were still going to start winning matches.
Hey Oracle.
If you're just a makeshift team, you're not going to win any matches.
Hey Oracle. Who won the trios titles at All In?
Oh, don't start with that. Don't start with that shit. You know the funniest part about that was? After 3 years, this 3-year journey Danielson's had in AEW, Pac was in the ring with him to celebrate his title.
Fucking
win.
ruled.
So funny. Yeah.
Beast.
So funny.
After I just got by the confirmed shoot there. I think I'm going to pick Top Flight. I think the one.
Wow. Top Flight. Interesting.
They don't get it, Joe.
Big money team. I've always said that about Top Flight. When money's on the
Yeah.
line,
Said it for years.
yeah.
There's
Like
a lot
if
of things
it-
I've been saying about Top Flight for years.
If the tag titles were just money, they'd be the champions.
Yeah. The tag titles are certainly not money right now.
No,
They haven't been
no.
for a while.
You know who I like?
You have to
Layla
go-
Gray.
Yeah, I thought you did. All right. I got Roderick Strong winning this one. I like him very much. He's going to have to wrestle Hook soon. Fuck off. Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita, Marcus Briscoe, and Orange Cassidy are going to battle for the Continental Crown of the World. This is a fatal four-way match. this, of course, came together tonight on AEW Collision live on TNT.
45,000 viewers.
And and this is a good selection of talent here. Takeshita, of course, just fresh back from the G1. There's a lot of
talent. Come on, the wrestlers.
What is it? That's not even like a. Yes. By the way, that anti-performer shit is so dumb.
I know.
Oh, you call them performances? Is it opera, bro? What do you want me to call it, dude? Like, what do you want me to say? I'm trying to use words here. You know, have you seen that shit? Drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah. Well.
What do you want me to say? So you're taking tools out of my toolbox. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to use words here.
Sometimes I feel like you could have just sent this super chat to Cornette instead of doing it on here, but
because you sometimes you say someone had a great performance, and I would like to know the alternative on that. You know, what should I say? A showing? I can say showing sometimes, but I need range. You know.
Listen, I'm not. I just don't hold back because I don't care. But can I be honest?
Is about what I just said.
There's a lot of evidence that you can be, yes.
Yeah.
It probably is related because I was actually looking up the Jordan Love situation that someone posted in the chat, so I was only half paying attention. But now that I'm back and locked in.
You're locked in.
Kazuchika Okada had one of the most despicable performances I've ever seen in my life.
This is not the time for this. This is not the time.
I like that match.
Dang.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good.
I thought it was so boring. I thought it was so fucking boring. Come on, bro.
Did you call it disgraceful?
Yeah. Come on.
That wasn't really related at all.
Put some energy in. I mean, look, I respect the money grab, okay? I respect it.
The money's that Mercedes new finish.
I respect the laziness.
Yeah.
I respect the lack of effort, but only to a degree. You know, sometimes
depends on your mood.
Sometimes I need something, you know. I need some effort. Not a lazy 3.5-minute form.
I've heard this speech before.
Is Kyle Fletcher winning you over? Because he's kind of winning me over. Is he winning you over?
Fletcher?
Yeah.
He's gotten better the last month. He's gotten some good matches under his belt. I've been.
You know what it is, Joe?
He's trying to look like a wrestler, which I respect.
You know what it is?
Yes, mate.
Blues Impact.
Sky Blues Impact. Yeah, I agree. I do appreciate like he looks much more the part, and you can tell he's like going for it and trying to be a top star.
Very handsome fella.
Very handsome. He's 25.
Incredible live show charisma.
Yeah.
Factual. 25. Yeah. He's winning me over. I didn't see this match, but he's winning me over.
I like it, to be honest.
Yeah. I was celebrating turning 40 on when this show
If
came
it was
on.
Randy Orton instead of Okada, Oracle would have given it 4.5 stars.
Absolutely, because Randy Orton
the exact same match, but Oracle would have loved it.
No. We're not going to have that.
Yeah. God forbid people rate those two wrestlers differently. That's never happened before. All right.
I liked Okada and Pac, and there were some people that thought that was good, and I liked just merely good. And I was high.
You like that match? You like that match a lot more than I did, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but last Wednesday, whatever the hell it was was not for my taste. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, my mood is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you watch Collision tonight, Oracle?
I did watch Collision, yeah.
What did you think of the 8-man main event?
The problem with me is that, I just don't plan. I'm going to be honest. I watch too much wrestling. At some point, I just sort of half paid attention. But from what I saw, it seemed to be pretty good.
Are you saying it was a mistake to watch every televised match from the top two companies?
I think it might have been. Yeah, I think that probably was an error on my part.
We've all been there. We'll make some mistakes like that.
I mean, I used to do spreadsheets, so.
You did it in 2018. Really? That's a rough year to do that then, too. Good Lord.
Yeah.
God, can we find that fucking spreadsheet?
I probably still have it, yeah. Let me see if I have it.
There's got to be some gems on there that very funny matches. 3 1/4.
It's all WWF stuff.
Okay.
They had so much stuff that year too. Good God.
Oracle, do you think Okada's going to win this match?
I do think Kazu is going to retain his championship.
Yeah. Good.
I think it will be a match that, I haven't loved Okada, especially in the last couple of months. I haven't been a fan. I actually liked him okay for like the first 2 months he was around, and now I'm kind of like annoyed with him for obvious reasons, like what I pointed out about Wednesday. But four-way matches are just not my thing in either company.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Um,
It'll be a crowd please that we probably won't like.
Mark Briscoe's awesome. I think he's one of
Yes.
those guys who knows how to work a match in any style and any dynamic. So I think he'll probably be excellent. OC's pretty good at that too. Orange Cassidy's pretty pretty flexible when it comes to being able to wrestle different styles of matches. Takeshita is I don't trust all that. Four-way matches are just not my thing. Triple threats, four ways. I think they'll probably go all out, and really, really give it a good effort. But I think Okada's going to win the match. To be determined on the match and how I actually feel about it. But yeah, I think Okada's going to win in a match where everybody. I think there is going to be particularly from the other three, a big time effort to get the crowd going and whatnot.
I think it'll be a big crowd pleaser, definitely. We'll see how we feel about it live on LNG Gold tomorrow. Caden, who have you got in the Fatal 4-Way?
I think Okada is taking this. It feels very telegraphed that Okada and Takeshita that is who is going to take the belt off of Okada eventually, but I don't think it's here. You can have Takeshita lose in this match by not getting pinned, and he can still look really strong. And then you save that for Wrestle Dynasty in the Tokyo Dome January 5th, and you have Takeshita win the Continental Classic this winter. And yeah, it's just kind of using this as like a stepping block to get where they want to go for the Dome.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a deal where Okada wins to kind of progress that feud. Shoot, I know you were kind of.
Yeah, I'm torn on it now.
Yeah.
My original read on this match was that this was going to be the way to get the belt off of Okada without pinning him. And to me, that would have been Takeshita without pinning him. But yeah, I do see the argument. Maybe the better finish here is that Takeshita has the match won and Okada steals it. The big flaw I have is that I don't believe Okada's going to put Takeshita over. So I'm not that excited about a one-on-one match because I just don't believe Okada's going to lose to him. There's a lot of evidence to point to the fact that he wouldn't. But hopefully I'm wrong about that.
I think he's going to be pretty chill now. He's so rich.
Yeah. Because, obviously Takeshita beating Okada clean would be a big deal. And probably needs to happen. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Interesting. Novi, anything to add on the... Did you pick Novi?
No.
You haven't picked, have you? Anything to add on the 4-Way, and who have you got winning?
I'm going to take Okada as well. I think this match will actually be pretty fun on this card just because it's different from everything else on it. There's a lot of other singles matches, and there's a lot of other, pretty heated matches. This one's kind of just going to be a bunch of fun to me, and I could definitely see maybe them doing Takeshita winning this, but I'm on Caden's train. I think Takeshita's going to run through the C2, and I think he's going to face Okada in the finals, and that's where it's going to happen, because I feel like if you got to make Takeshita a big star, every time he has a match, every time he goes on their TV, he shows out. I feel like the best way to do it is to crown him against Okada in Japan, where it's going to be, the crowd's going to go crazy for it. They love him over there already. I think that's what we're building to, and I think this match is kind of just set up for that come C2 time.
Yep, makes sense to me. Shu, have you found the spreadsheet?
Yeah, I emailed it to you.
Really?
East.
All right, let me...
Now, I will say that I noted when I looked at the spreadsheet, I remembered that about mid-November, I kind of gave up. So I don't really have much from December on there. But yeah, it's got every match that I didn't rate every single match because basically what I did is I just listed every match that I gave 4 stars or higher in the WWF in 2018, which hilariously was 100 and 49 matches.
Jesus.
It's a lot of matches.
And I've got
85.
I've got a point system in there and everything to
Right.
keep track of who had the most points and
Oh my
stars. And
God, bro. Look
Yeah.
at this. This perversion that you've created here.
it's beautiful, isn't it?
First names I see, Lars Sullivan, Velveteen Dream. It was a different time.
Wait,
Forgot about that match.
You didn't have to start with that.
where is that?
It's the ladder match. I was looking at the right side.
Oh, okay. Never
Oh,
mind.
yeah, from New Orleans.
Yeah.
I was there, bro. It was great. Give me a second.
Oh, man, I was at work. I was so mad. I missed that match. And I
Who did
came
it?
home, and my brother was like, oh, it was fucking amazing. I was so mad. God, I was mad.
Buddy Murphy was the best wrestler in the company that year on my rankings. Legitimately. He had 13 matches that were 4 stars or higher.
Beast.
He won the cruiserweight title that year, right?
And
Yep.
Australia, yeah.
In Australia, I think September.
Yeah, I think it was either very end of September or very beginning of October or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I
His
remember I
crown
took a day
jewel.
off of work to get up early to watch that show live.
I gave 5 stars to Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
That match ruled, though. And then after that match, the Cena Taker thing was fun, but after that, the show
I gave that 4
was-
stars. Cena and Taker.
What'd you give it?
4 stars.
That's so beast.
That's awesome.
Good God, man.
You're on
I get-
fire.
I gave Ronda and Nikki Bella 4 1/4.
That match
Oh,
is good. I don't
baby.
know. It's not that good. It's like 3.5, but that match.
I think I gave it like 2. I didn't
This
like that match.
absolute lunatic. We did the chamber match for the Lexi show. 4 3/4 stars for that match, which recently on Grin Grappler earned the following from Contrarian Alex. It's fine. Did you do any other matches we did on the Grappler? What? Did we do anything else from 2018? Oracle? We didn't, did we? Fuck.
Look at all the 205 live matches on here.
205 Live was sick, to be fair.
205 Live ruled in 2018.
It's like Cedric Alexander.
We've got an NXT
Dude,
UK match on
There
here.
was an amazing Buddy Murphy Callisto match, especially the one before Mania. God, that match is great.
Dude, why the fuck did we do that Carmella triple threat when there was a match? Sasha, Alexa, Ember, and Natalia. 4 stars on the shooter spreadsheet.
I would probably hate half these matches if I watched them now.
That's why you
Could've
leave the
sent this to
members
me
alone.
beforehand. We could have done something with this. We'll save it for the 2028 10-year anniversary deal. All right. We should probably go back to this show, right? I guess.
Jump right in.
Yeah, let's jump right. We have a super chat. Anyone have an opinion on the dropkick discourse?
I didn't see this.
I don't know what this is.
What does that mean?
Please explain.
What are we talking about?
Dropkick discourse.
Do we not like drop
Okay.
kicks anymore?
Here it is. Follow up. The discourse, by the way, thank you, is that Okada has the best dropkick of all time, but people have argued Randy and AJ.
Bob Holly.
Or Holly.
Bob Holly.
None of them.
It's Bob Holly.
None of them have that. Nope. Jumping Jim Brunzell is the best dropkick of all time.
Yeah, he had a good one.
Move forward. Move on.
But Greg, he drew better money with Flair. Greg did. He's told us a few times.
So it's been a long time since I've seen either of them. So I'm genuinely going to ask this question to Oracle and Joe. When Randy or AJ throws their drop kick, do they clap first? Like, do they clap and then throw the drop kick to prepare?
AJ always does it. This will make you remember it, I think. He does the sequence of the drop down, the leapfrog, the drop down.
That's true, yeah.
I'm sorry, I got to put Okada above the other two because you got to clap before you throw
He
it.
does
Yeah.
clap. Yeah.
I'm
It's a
not
good
the
clap.
guy to watch. I'm not the guy who pays attention to body language and stuff. We've talked about this in the Grin Grappler recently. Joe and Alex will start talking about footwork and shit. I'm like, guys, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. And then I'm over here talking about like structure and shit. And Alex is looking at me
Marula.
like I'm a fucking maniac.
Anyway, Bob Holly threw an incredible drop kick.
Here's what I would say. I think AJ's drop kick is prettier, but Okada's drop kick is always placed perfectly in his matches.
Yeah.
Always. Like, it's used as like a great transition and shift in his matches. It's one of his great strengths, and he's kind of made that a
You
special.
know who has a really good drop kick? Zoe
Nikki
Stark has
Cross.
a great springboard drop kick. That's probably
Zoe
the best-
Stark's a good grappler, dude.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Good grappler.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, she's good. She's not of any personality, but she's good.
Yeah.
Is she the one in the Pure Fusion Collective?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
She almost died like 6 times during the Money in the Bank match this year.
She did.
Yes. Yeah, she did.
All right, it's time to talk about the main event, the thumbnail for tonight's show. We're putting it on early so people can go to bed afterwards. We're talking about Daniel Garcia and MJF.
A lot of
The
people
whole
are
bit-
going to go to bed during Joe.
The whole bit invitational.
I thought that was a pretty good joke. But
This is
I mean, I'm
obviously one
looking
of the,
forward to this match, but I mean, it was right there.
this is obviously one of the biggest matches of the year.
You're very paid.
And
I'm
I would
not.
ex-
Hi, Max.
I would expect this to be.
There's a lot of evidence
Lucas
that Joe's
in the
not
building.
very paid, honestly. But
I would.
Maybe I don't know a better word for that.
In all seriousness, I actually do think they've done a good job with this.
They
And
have.
I'm aware that means absolutely nothing coming
It
from me
actually has
because
been
of
built well.
yeah.
Very
Yes. And I think Max is in like a pretty good space right now and is doing better work.
he is.
I think considerably better, but again, whatever, bias so on and so forth. Daniel, I think, has made the most of his TV time since returning. I feel very strongly about this match. I'm very torn on the finish. I'm intrigued how the panel feels. Shoot. Daniel Garcia, MJF, what are you thinking?
This match should be really good. I've actually been very happy with Max lately, especially this week. You know, he's so much better when he's just a fucking serious lunatic heel instead of cracking jokes. I thought it was interesting that Danny just cracked a bunch of jokes and everyone put it over like he cooked him, and I'm just like,
Yeah. Those segments are real, right?
Yeah. I like Danny. I'm not quite as high on Danny as some people. I will say, honestly, Daniel Garcia beating MJF here is insane to me. Like, I would say no if I was MJF. Like, I'm not losing to Daniel Garcia. No disrespect to Daniel Garcia, who I think Danny is a very good mid-card to upper mid-card guy that you should feature all the time, and he should be treated as important, but he shouldn't be beating MJF. As for the match, I think the match will be really good. I think there'll be some blood in this one. There almost has to be with the build they've done. But yeah, I think Max has gotta come out with the win here, which is an interesting.
Going to be controversial, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff where we don't really know what's going on, so there's a lot of moving parts here. I'm interested to see what happens here. It's tough because Danny loses every big match, but man, like I'm not. I guess it wouldn't really hurt Max.
It does feel like, I say this as a supporter of Daniel Garcia, it does feel like a big leap with where he's been at on the card.
Yeah,
It feels like a big leap. I'll say that. I did the bit of this is the main event and all that stuff, but I do think this is one of the more interesting matches finish wise.
Yeah,
and also there is the quality of the match, which I'll get to in a second. Novi, what do you make of this one? DG and MJF.
I thought MJF has been like really locked in lately. Like I get people still being like iffy on him and not enjoying his stuff, but I feel like he's gotten serious again, like Shoot said, and he's just brought back whatever the good parts of him that everyone liked. And I think it's helped this match quite a bit. I thought Danny came back with a really good promo at first, and he kind of got serious and was leaning towards just getting away from like the dances and stuff. And then he cut the promo on Wednesday, and I don't know. I don't think I love that too much, but I think in terms of the match, it's gonna be very, very interesting. I know, Joe, you mentioned earlier this week, you said this is a big match for Danny in terms of like performance and what he can make of it. And I think so too. I mean, Danny clearly has aspirations of being on the main event. He has aspirations of being a world champion someday. Whenever that day might come, I'm not sure, but he clearly wants to be it. And I feel like you're in there with this is one of AEW's top stars. They've told you time and time again, no matter how people feel, he's one of our top guys. And if he can go in there and he can perform and look good in this match, I think it'd do a lot of good for him as a wrestler. So I'm hoping he does well. The winner, I don't know. There's a lot of directions you could go with this. I know a lot of people want the Danny and Dragon rematch before he retires from full time. I don't think we're going to get it. But if he wins, I think that's what that would lead to, honestly, just because it's a big part of him. And I feel like it's a big part of Dragon in a lot of ways, too, in his AEW run. So I think I'm going to go Danny. I know MJF might just say, I'm not laying down for you, kid. He didn't lay down for Ospreay clean, so I'm not sure that he'll do it for Danny. But then there's also the thing where he clearly wants to put Danny over in a lot of ways in a lot of these segments. So I don't know. It's a big discussion. I think I'm going to go Danny, though. I think they want to elevate him. I think it's a good way to do it.
Very interesting. Oracle, what do you reckon? This one's going to divide people, I think.
So, let me get all my bits and stuff. All bits aside,
Right.
seriously. So, listen. The guy's already got my money. I paid to see. I'm going to pay to see this show. He probably thinks I'm a fucking mark. Whatever. I don't care. I think Max is pretty much fast forward material, at least on the mic. I think he's a pretty ambitious and bold wrestler in the ring. I think he really thinks really hard about his matches and really wants to have good matches. And like, what I'm trying to say is he more often than not really puts in a lot of effort, right, in his feuds and his matches and stuff. And I say that genuinely. A lot of times it's not my thing. I thought the Will Ospreay match was terrible. I thought it was one of Max's worst matches in a while, actually. I think this match will probably be good, bell to bell.
Are you talking about the pay-per-view match or the longer one? The Ospreay.
I'm talking about both of them. I didn't like either.
Okay.
The longer one. So with the Iron Man match, I thought the first 30 minutes of the Iron Man, I know it wasn't the Iron Man, but of the hour-long match, 59 minutes, 58 seconds. The first 30 minutes are great. Then they went and did crowd brawling 30 minutes in and did all this. I thought it was terrible. It was awful. The match at All In, I completely understand if someone liked that match. It was worked in particular way people like it. I get it. You guys liked it. That's fine. I legitimately thought, no joke, I felt like I was watching in a much more flashy way, mind you, like the Triple H Shawn Michaels feuds in 2004, where they would just hit big moves and then lay around and sell. I thought it was awful. I thought it was a terrible match. Finish was well done. I'll say that. This match, I do think will be good bell to bell. I just and for what it's worth, Max probably should win because Danny's on the way up, so it wouldn't really make sense for him to win this match. I think they have to be careful about how he loses. I thought the angle where I was more mixed on it. The initial angle of the feud where, after the Ospreay Danny match where Max turned on him, I thought it was a little bit excessive in terms of like, but not as bad as some. Like Danny was kind of, it felt like, of course, with all the contract situation going on with him, it felt like almost like a burial the way he got his ass beat. And it feels like if he loses in a particular way tomorrow, it will just damage him more instead of help him. But I don't disagree that Max shouldn't win. Max should win this match. I just think they need to be careful about how it happens. I'm honestly like not concerned about like hating the match or anything. I might not like it. I think it'll be good bell to bell. In terms of like the top stars in the big two, Max is probably my least favorite. I can't do it, but it's just not my thing, you know. But yeah.
Thank you, Oracle.
Kaden
Your
Lee.
thoughts?
Joe, you might need to put that pink bar back up.
Oh, okay.
I ain't
I
on production for that,
I
brother.
just clicked off of it. All
I've made it very clear over the last few weeks that I have not liked what Max has done for like, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years. I would say going back to like full year 2022. Actually, I go further. I'll say like Grand Slam 2022. But the last like 2 weeks is more of like what I like from him, like just being a vile heel. And that's what he showed when he turned on Danny in Chicago in early July at Beach Break. And then he like ditched it then like 3 days later on Collision for the promo that I've criticized multiple times. But he's like back to doing what makes him a very good heel. I would like to see like more. I want a mixture of the vile heel with the like. I would like to see a mixture of that, more like the anti-hero that he did when he first came back at Double or Nothing a few months ago. With the, I want to see that leather jacket used instead of the scarf. I thought it was a different look and unique, and I don't like that he ditched it so quickly. I would like a mixture of that, but this is good. Like it's working very well. I am incredibly 50-50 on this match more than any match on the card. I have been like flip-flopping for the last week so far on where I stand on this. I think Daniel losing here does not even indicate if he's staying or leaving, because I think he's staying anyways. People are going to take it like if he loses, I think people are going to take it as like he's being written off and he's done. I could see a world where Max wins this and Daniel gets the win back in a stip match so he doesn't pin Max clean. But I'm going to go with Daniel getting the win. I'm going to say that Max is going to take a clean pin, going to put him over big here. It cements Daniel Garcia as like a top guy in AEW. Whether they continue to book him that way, that's up to Tony Khan. But if you're going to like pay him the amount you're going to have to pay him to get him to stay in AEW and to get him to re-sign, you have to take that step. Like no matter what, it's not really like an option at this point. And Max can recover. He's MJF. Like it's not going to matter at all if he takes the pin here.
Let me say this. I agree with Caden there, because even though I think Max will win and probably should, in some ways should win, I think it doesn't hurt him to lose this match.
No,
Max can get his heat back.
Mm-hmm.
Just because
Always
I don't
does.
like what he says on the mic. The audience for AEW, you know, the majority of that audience enjoys his mic work and enjoys his stick and his heel work and whatnot. He can get his heat back.
Yeah.
Like if he takes the fall here, he can get his heat back. That's not an issue.
Yeah. Sounds to me like the Wolf of Wrestling set for a most improved wrestler campaign here. I'm very excited about this.
No.
So, in all seriousness, you know, I think this is the biggest match of Daniel Garcia's life, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And on the off chance that Daniel Garcia sees this, I think it's incredible. I think it can't be overstated. Like, the reason I like Daniel Garcia's wrestling, the reason that the Oracle of Wrestling has stood alongside me in the Great War with Contrarian Alex, is because Daniel Garcia is very refreshing in that he wrestles to his role. He's a very selfless, very mature grappler in that way. He is not someone who's trying to fill your spreadsheet. He understands what a match is trying to achieve, and he wrestles accordingly. This is not the time to be selfless, mature, and let other people steal the show. This is the time for Daniel Garcia to go fucking nuts and leave everything on the table. This is the match to prove to people that don't see it in Daniel Garcia why others do see it. Because to be completely honest, I think the world of Daniel as a wrestler, I think he has a huge amount of potential. In terms of just churning out great matches, it's been a while for Daniel. because he's not been positioned in a way to do that. I felt very bad for him that the Will Ospreay match became like so story driven and really didn't. To me, they didn't even get a chance to have it. To me, that match is like half of what it could be, if that. I really believe that.
Yeah.
This is on pay-per-view with MJF. Think what you will with MJF's matches. Clearly, our panel is divided too. Max does not wrestle mid-card matches on pay-per-views generally. He's done it a couple of times because Hechicero was like an opener that he wrestled like an undercard match. It seems pretty apparent the way they've built this is going to be treated like a main event match, right? They're going to get time. There's only 8 matches on the main card. So I guess my point is like this needs to be great, dude. Like that's my honest stance on it. Like I think Daniel Garcia has a point to prove, and I hope he proves it. Obviously, I'm rooting for him. I don't think I'm revealing anything with that, but
I do believe that Max is very motivated to
help Daniel. I agree.
Yes, whether the way he's going to go about it is going to like we can argue that whatever, but I do think he's very motivated to. I could definitely see Max losing this match. I'm not sure it's the right call. I should be very. I'm not going to be mad if Daniel Garcia wins this match. Like
no, you're unsure.
It's just a fascinating. It's a fascinating decision. I want to believe in Daniel Garcia as a top main event guy. I don't see it yet. I've come a long way. Joe, you can remember when he first came into AEW, I don't think I really even liked him at all. Now I like him a lot. I just, I still need to see a little bit more. And what you said is true. He hasn't been put in a position. And he is, I agree completely that he is someone who plays his role.
Yeah.
As well as maybe anybody in wrestling now, because a lot of people just flat out don't play their role and they just get their shit in and are going to do what they're going to do no matter what. I do believe there's a world where Daniel Garcia is a top guy. I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it does. I think there's no question that this is a dude that cares at a level that we don't see very much anymore.
Which is important.
He's a guy who, with whatever has gone on with contract and all that, it's very clear that Daniel Garcia believes in AEW. I don't know Daniel Garcia, obviously. My impression the entire time is he's basically been begging AEW to give him a reason to stay. And so hopefully that's what's going to happen.
Hopefully so. Hopefully they tear it up. I think Max is going to escape with a win that is very inconclusive. That's my general read on it. I don't think I'm not doing PR here. I'm being sincere. I don't think it will be a political thing. I think this is just complicated for reasons outside of Max's control, to be completely honest.
It's Max losing twice in 2 weeks on pay-per-views. That's tough.
And the contract thing is, as far as we know, still a real thing. And with, if there's not going to be pen to paper,
he can't beat Max if he's not.
Exactly.
He cannot beat Max if he hasn't signed the contract, period.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Exactly. So, I think it is complicated beyond. But again, the main thing for me is the quality of the match. I just really hope they tear the house down. Obviously, I'm rooting for this. And more specifically, Daniel, because, the reality is Max has had a lot of big pay-per-view matches. He wrestled Dragon for an hour on pay-per-view. He's had a lot of big matches. This is the one
That's
for me.
That's the best match ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a great match.
I think the Punk stuff was strong. Really strong. But, yeah.
The feud's the best. That's his best feud, but the best match.
Yeah. Probably Danielson, yeah. I would agree.
Oracle.
All right. There we go. Chi-Town Spurs says, I think there's a large possibility we'll see a Garcia win and then a TNT win over Perry at Grand Slam.
Depends on if pen on paper happens.
I think the one thing I would say this is definitely a chance, but I think the Max deal, regardless of result, will spill into Grand Slam, to be honest.
I agree. I think that. I kind of think if things go in AEW's favor in terms of the contract stuff, I think Danny gets a win at Grand Slam.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I think what I told someone last week was I was like, it makes sense that Max could win here. You do you open Grand Slam, or you could close Grand Slam. You could open Grand Slam with the Danielson match against Darby, and then you can close Grand Slam with a Battle of New York and do do some sort of stipulation there and let Daniel get the win there. I don't see him beating Jack. I actually do think he's gonna beat Jack. I just don't think it's anytime soon. Yeah, I think I said World's End was my prediction.
There you go. Thank you, Chi-Town Spurs, for the super chat. Daniel Garcia, go get your shit in, brother. All right. AEW World's Tag Team titles, Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, Wills Utes, contrarian Alex's favorite wrestler, versus Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks, who I'm told are back in form. That's the word on the street.
They're
I
trying
honestly
again.
thought they were good in the Wembley match, especially Nick. So I was, but everyone hated that match more than me. You get what you get, I suppose. This has a chance, I think, to creep up on people and be pretty awesome. But the big question will be placement. If this goes in the second half of the show, I think the people will kind of be just waiting it out.
Mhm.
If it's early in the show, I will not bet against Claudio Castagnoli in a tag match of any caliber, let alone one like this. I think this is a real chance. Oracle, as I said, that you sighed. So you seem less keen.
I think this is like as Will has said in the chat, this is the bathroom break match, man. Like the Young Bucks are another couple of guys that just I can't do it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it.
Claudio, though? Claudio?
I love Claudio. You know, Yuta, yeah, you know, whatever, nice beard. But like I can't do it, man. Like it's hard for me to watch their matches, you know. Like I can watch Max's matches most of the time nowadays, you know. But like
Good.
the Young Bucks, man, I don't know, man. Like it's tough. I'm not even sure this will be terrible. I don't know. I mean, you know, you fall into the whole thing of like you expect it to be bad, so you decide it's going to be, and like maybe it'll be good. But I find this to be the least compelling match on the entire show.
There's not much juice to it, so I get what you're saying.
You know, there's not much to it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bucks are retaining here. I would imagine so. They're probably going to get like 22 minutes, and it's just I don't know, man. Like at least I'll be on here with y'all, you know.
It'll be interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. I think this may surprise you. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Novi, what do you think?
When it comes to like tag team wrestling in AEW, I've been begging for something new, something at all. And at least like I know Claudio and Yuta have been like a team for a little while now, but it feels new to me, at least in some way. So I'm excited for the match. I don't know how the Young Bucks are going to look. I don't think anyone can know anymore. Like they could show up and have an acclaim match, or they can show up and have like, I don't even know, their performance in the match on Collision tonight and it bleed into Rampage. I thought they were pretty good there. I thought they were a little more agile, a little more active in the ring. They were doing a lot of their big moves and stuff like that. I feel like if they can come out and do that, it'll be a fun match. But we're looking at this and we just kind of don't know, you know. It's unfortunate, and I don't know if they're cooked or not. It's very very difficult to tell, but this will be a good tell because Claudio's always rock solid. I'm a big fan of Wheels, so I think he's gonna Wheels Utes, as some may say. I'm a big fan of them as a team, so this will be a good barometer to see how cooked they are. Especially like, you know, it's a big pay-per-view spot. It's not the most anticipated match. It's kind of just one of those like thrown together or put it on All Out kind of matches, but it has potential to be okay. It just really depends. What version of the Young Bucks are we gonna get, you know?
I think they're going to be on here. I think hopefully Chicago gives them a certain response that pops them. That happened to them last year in Chicago. They kind of just sort of came to life in response to the booze. So
they got it a bit tonight.
It should
not
be
like last
up.
year, but a bit.
Yeah, it should be ramped up tomorrow. So I'm kind of hopeful about this. Kaden, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Bucks in Chicago, they're typically like on point there since Brawl Out happened. They've been a little bit more actually like motivated with the crowd booing them, especially like with this character specifically compared to like last year's All Out. Now that they're actually heels, I think they're going to be able to lean into it a little bit more. Like Novi said, I've been begging for something new with the tag division. This is something new. It's not exactly like what I would have done. I would have built like teams like Top Flight. I would put the Guns in here, but I'll take it. Like I'll take new matchups. I'll take something interesting. I think this is going to be like fairly entertaining. On July 14th, 2021, I bought my Wheeler Yuta stocks. I've held on to them as they've gone up and down. Some crazy highs, some crazy lows, but I need those stocks to rise up in value a little bit. So I need a strong performance from him tomorrow and Claudio. I'm actually like more excited for this than other people are. I think this is actually going to be like fairly entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. The only reason like I throw in that placement thing is there is a version of this that goes on in like a dead spot and the people just sit there, right? Like I absolutely think that's possible. I'm definitely with you. I'm pretty confident with this deal. Confirmed shoot, you were very bullish on the Bucks.
They showed good chemistry tonight. Specifically these 4 individuals. Nick looked really good tonight. Matt, I don't know about Matt.
Matt's definitely feeling it physically. Like for all the stuff about effort, and a lot of it's fair and apt, Matt is definitely beat up. You can see it visibly.
He's done.
Yeah. I think all bits aside, I think this match will be pretty good. I don't think there's a chance in hell that Claudio and Yuta are winning, which makes it a little less exciting to me. The tag team division badly, like not even doing the Young Bucks bit. We need different champions. Either that or they need to start wrestling all the time, which I don't think, especially Matt's not capable of doing right now. The tag division is badly in need of a reset. So much so that I got excited about a Lee Johnson and EJ and Duca tag team this week because I was like, holy fuck, that's a new tag team. That might work. And I no disrespect to either of those guys, but like that's where I'm at mentally at this point. Like I just want anything with the tag division. So yeah, this match will probably be pretty good. I'm not going to care that much. But tonight's match was a good indicator that tomorrow night's match will be pretty good. I think tonight's match will be better than that one's going to be, but
probably. The Bucks hear the noise, so I think you're going to try and.
Yeah.
I do think they tried to make the best of the Wembley thing. I think the Wembley thing had other issues, but we'll debate that another day.
I'm curious real quick.
Yes?
Who would you have winning the belts? Shoot, like from them.
That's a great question because that's a hard one for me to answer. Obviously, my stock answer is always FTR, but we've been down that road over and over again.
Plenty of times.
So that's part of the problem is I don't know.
House of Black.
House of Black would probably be the call.
I wouldn't mind that.
Do that, dude. People love the
team.
House of Black, man. They because like the honest truth is, I would love to say with confidence like it should be top flight, but I really don't know if it should be top flight.
And I'm gonna say something. I'm just gonna be honest. If Max would stop rapping, I don't hate this new version of the Acclaim, but then he goes back and raps, and it pisses me off again.
The more like aggressive Acclaimed has been fun.
But then it's like, and I like MXM, but they're not a threat. They shouldn't be a threat.
What about Private Party? Maybe they're not built up, but
I would love them. They treat Private Party like fucking losers.
Yeah.
You got a
Isaiah's so good, man. It's really unfortunate, and he flies the flag so often. He always just he posts vlogs all the time, and he's always talking about like how he's hoping to get booked and all this stuff. And when he's at the shows, he's always so. I want to see them win the belts at Grand Slam or something like that. Do something with them.
I think you got to do more work to get them there. It's like I don't remember if I actually told the story or if Joe you told the story for me, but like they did the segment with Mercedes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, like, are they going to put Private Party with Mercedes? Like, that would be fucking cool. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, nope, they're just going to treat them like fucking losers. Like they always do. Like
they always do. Yeah.
There's not tons of, I think House of Black probably is the best option. People, the Outrunners won tonight, but they're in the spot they should be in.
Yeah, let's not go down that road too far now.
I was happy with what they did tonight because I talked about this. They should win every once in a while, but they want a squash match. That's what they should win. You keep them remotely relevant because look, people popped huge for them. No one can.
They got the biggest pop of the night.
They did
at that point.
Pop. You keep them. They lose every big match, not big match, but every match against the star and real team. But they should win squashes on TV every now and again because people do like the gimmick. But they are not a serious threat, and they should never be a serious threat. The second that happens, then everything becomes a joke. But their squash was fun tonight. So, and then like Mox and Marina beat the shit out of him. It fucking ruled.
Yeah,
They
it
broke
was
the-
good.
See the
Marina
shit
broke the
Moxley
wall.
was wearing when he came out of the.
This,
Did you see his get up?
yeah,
He
bro,
loves those
like,
damn glasses.
I am.
They don't love him back.
This rules. I really like this.
I'm going to be very clear, and I'm going to keep saying it. I think that the end game here is going to fucking suck. But so far,
It's been well executed.
I've liked it.
Moxley's a good promo,
Mox
dude.
seems like he's locked in. Mox is still a great fucking promo. I love. Again, you can't go too far with it, but I love so far that they're slow burning it. Now, there's got to start to be some progression soon. But I do like that they're, it's been a slow burn so far.
It's a mystery. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, like
I love when Mox gets something to sink his teeth into. That's what he's good at.
That's what we've been asking for.
Yeah.
I had my doubts whether he was going to care, but so far, it seems like he does. So I'm intrigued. We'll see what
He's
happens.
got to get his buddy a contract.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Joshi
I still
Bar.
think the end game's going to be a wreck, but we'll let it play out.
I do think I know like the realistic option for who's taking those belts off the Bucks. It will be the Golden Lovers. Like it'll eventually be Coda.
God, they're the
Don't do
champions.
that.
Come
Don't
on.
do
Come
that.
on.
That's 100% what it is. They have pretty much told us that
If
when
Kenny's
they took
coming-
out Kenny. When they took out Kenny, that was basically to tell you, oh, by the way, Kenny and Coda are coming back and winning the titles. Like that's 100% what the goal's been for a while.
Look, man,
100%.
I don't know what Kenny Omega is going to look like when he comes back. I want to be optimistic that he's still going to have some pretty good matches in him. Coda is fucking washed, bro. Like I do not want to waste what little time of Kenny Omega we have left on
Apparently he's
Golden
back.
Lovers tag.
I heard he
match.
looked good. I've heard
He-
there is
working
talk he's
fairly
back.
well.
He got his
I've heard.
ankle fixed. He got his shoulder fixed. He was in DDT not too long ago. He looked okay. He looked like he was moving in there.
He had
I don't know.
match. I heard he was like, it wasn't like, I
I'll
don't think he
believe
did
it
a
when I
lot,
see it.
but they said he was like
Yeah.
not terrible. Like he was better.
I want Kenny to be treated like a top guy. Fuck this tag shit. Fuck, like he needs to be, whether he's the champion or not. I'm not saying he needs to be, but I want him to be treated like a top guy, maybe even
I
the
agree.
top guy. Like
Yeah, I
he
don't-
should be like.
I do think the end game is like I've been saying for a while. I think it's Okada Omega at All In. I just think like they're gonna put the belts on them for like a month or two because Tony, like it feels like they've been telling us that, and then also I don't think Tony's gonna like want to let up the opportunity of saying the AEW tag team lineage has the Golden Lovers in it. Like that's just something that Tony would
Yeah,
want to
but-
do.
That means
But
they're going to
I-
be champion for months still, man. Like
They're gonna be there for far too long,
like
and
2
we're
months.
gonna. Yeah, but we're gonna miss out. That's
mean,
2
the
months of
Bucks
not
would
getting
be,
Kenny,
like-
though. That's the problem that I have with it. It's 2 months of not getting Kenny, and I want I'm gonna go as far. I think Kenny should be the world champion again. He could come back and look like shit, and I'd still want him to be the world champion
well, I
because
wouldn't go that far. But
I think he's that like.
I agree.
I don't
if he
know. He's.
sucks, then he sucks.
If he
I don't
sucks,
think
he
he's gonna
sucks.
suck. Though. Yeah, if he really sucks, but I don't think
Yeah.
he's gonna suck. I think he's gonna be like at least solid, and I want that Kenny run. I need him to be just the god of AEW again. I need it.
Get there. But like, look, he's coming back from diverticulitis, and like, he also has the herniated disc still. Like, he's gonna need some time, and like, put him. I think it's fine. Like, if he just did 3 months with it, I don't have a problem with it. Just
my
like,
biggest
use him
thing is
back.
it's going to be January before you can do that match, and that means the Bucks.
I think
are
it's
tag
World's
champs.
End. I guess it's World's End.
I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it in Japan. But anyway, let's move on.
Oh yeah, they might do it in Japan. Yeah, they might do it January 5th.
Joe, did you write that down?
So anyway, Joe Blood said, lasagna man, cooking. Thank you for the super chat, Joe Blood. You got about 20 minutes of screen time there, brother. Shout out to you. I hope you're well.
Money's worth.
Andy says, Hangman, Swerve, or Punk MJF. It's very difficult to compare because one of them didn't get a chance to do this in the sense that the continuation down the line, once you've let them separate for a bit, obviously that was going to happen pretty
Why
clearly.
did that not happen, Joe?
Politics. So it's difficult. Like I think the signature match between both feuds is the Texas Death match between Hangman and did that just change?
Yeah, I saw that.
The logo in the bottom corner being covered up by the banner was driving me nuts.
All right.
So I had to make a new background for the banner.
Okay, fair. Hangman Swerve's Texas Death Match is the signature match between both feuds. So
Yeah.
I think with that, plus them having a chance to build up upon it, I think is probably the 1 seed. But it is difficult to compare. Any strong feelings on that? Thank you for the super chat, Andy. Anyone?
I'm gonna be so honest. I was in the building at Revolution 2022. I think the dog collar match fucking sucks. I don't think it's that good.
You stole my
All right.
take.
We're going to talk about Kota Ibushi again in a minute. So,
It didn't suck, but I feel like they needed that third match. If they got that third match, we'd have a debate. But it's like they never got to it, so it's unfortunate.
So my opinion on this is that one of the big flaws that we have as a society is that we pit 2 bad bitches against each other all the time. So I'm just not going to do that.
the actual quote comparison is the thief of joy. Is that the actual quote? Comparison.
That sounds correct.
Yeah.
Please like this video. This video is brought to you by WWE 2K24. Cool, confident, and ready to bite out of competition. Hashtag Colito Caribbean Cool, part of the Global Superstars Pack, out on September 18th on all consoles. Up next, Chicago Street Fight. What's up? Chicago Street Fight. Kris Statlander and Willow Nightingale.
Might have been the funniest thing you've ever done.
That's insulting. But the lads are tickled by St. Oracle. What do you think?
Part of me is concerned that was real and I don't know about it.
Shout out to Ricky.
I hope it's not real because with the way with my Max talk and the WWE ad reads, Joe might kick me out of the fucking next month. Anyways,
shout out to Ricky for becoming a member. Oracle, take it away, Chris and Willow.
Right, so I'm glad this didn't get rampaged, right? Like, because when it first happened, we all joked like it was like, oh man, they're gonna get rampaged, So at least they're gonna be able to have this match on a big stage. I talked about it early on, on the show. Look, I think they're gonna have a bloodbath, and that's gonna pop me huge. But in terms of the actual quality, I am iffy about it. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm a fan of both, especially Willow. I think obviously Stokely will get involved. It's a street fight, so he'll get involved. He'll take some bumps, whatever. They don't seem to have very good chemistry in the ring.
Yeah.
They have one match that I thought was pretty good, not great, but pretty decent, pretty good on
one
TV.
I
can't remember which one it was.
The first one after the turn. The second one was not as good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want this one to I really want them to hit a big home run here, but I have to be cautious about it. I have to temper my expectations some. I do think we're going to get the sort of kind of crazy bumps and bloodbath I want to see, but in terms of sloppiness can work a lot better in a street fight than it can.
Exactly. Yep.
So I can give them that credit there, or at least hope that if there are issues in terms of execution and stuff, which is kind of I don't know, almost being because some of their stuff is just kind of clunky, right? They're just kind of
definitely even at Wembley it happened. Yeah.
That works a little bit better in a street fight, and if they and you don't have to be. Some of the setups might be elaborate, but you don't have to be so elaborate in a Chicago street fight. You don't need to be.
Yeah.
And that's where I am hopeful. I feel like this should end the feud. It's been going on so long, but maybe it doesn't. I feel like Willow needs a win here. I'm going to pick Willow, but weirdly, I feel like this isn't the end of it.
It's interesting. Yeah.
So
I don't think it is either.
I kind of think Kris might win, but I don't know. I'm going to pick Willow just because I want her to win, but I'm just going to pick her because I'm a fan of hers. But I don't know.
Hell yeah.
I have a theory that Kris might actually win this match, but I'm optimistic in some ways and not so much in others. Hopefully the brawling archetype can get them into something great instead of what we've been seeing in terms of a straight bell-to-bell match between
Yeah,
those.
I agree. I'm hopeful. I think the bells and whistles will help. To be honest, I'm pretty hopeful, but I'm definitely with you on the chemistry between two wrestlers. I think a lot of Kaden. You seem to be hinting at being cryptic there a moment ago. What do you think of this one?
So like the match itself, like with the build, I think like in a vacuum it's been done well. I have like a lot of issues with like that it like wasn't presented. Like Kris has not wrestled a singles match in over a month. Her last one was when she beat Willow on Dynamite, and I would have loved to have seen these two, like the amount of screen time that Mariah and Tony had, not only just like segments but also like both of them having matches that just like helped build to the match itself at Wembley. I would have liked to have seen them have the same thing, because like they didn't have any in-ring segments in the 2 weeks from Wembley to All Out. It was Jamie Hayter that got the in-ring segments mainly on Dynamite. And Mercedes and Shida had some stuff on TV. The only thing they got was the sit down with Renee. So I would have liked that a lot, but it's still been a really well done feud. This has basically been telegraphed as a Kris Statlander win to me. Stat, when she beat her on July 31st, it was a CMLL Women's World Championship eliminator match, and so she's owed a title shot.
No. Title's
No.
not on the line.
No.
It can't be in a street fight.
Yeah,
Okay,
CMLL does not.
rules. Yeah.
They said
they
no,
don't
no.
sanction street fights for their title matches. So
That's probably a giveaway too.
yeah, that's how they got away with it. So it's not being defended. So there's 100% going to be another match where Willow is going to I think it's gonna be in Mexico. Willow's gonna beat her on one of the Friday shows at Arena Mexico, and she'll win the feud. That's what I would do. I think it'd be pretty cool to do the final match in Mexico and just do something different with it. But yeah, I do think that Stat wins here, and I had that for a while. It made sense. Willow won it All Out. That was a tag match, but she still won there. She had to pick the step, and then you let Stat get the win here in the street fight.
I agree. Stat's winning. I definitely think there's truth to the feud has been done well, as you said, in a vacuum. Each segment has been good enough, but it hasn't felt as big as it could have.
I think that the real tell, and you haven't seen it yet, Joe, but the real tell to me on this feud was they had their sit down tonight, and they've been feuding for months, and it felt novel that they had this.
Yeah.
I was like,
they've kind of fouled them in that way.
Yeah. Now, I'm still really fired up. I've still enjoyed it, but yes, they could have put more meat on the bone, I guess would be a way to put it. As for this match itself, yeah, their chemistry is weird. And that happens. They're actually friends, but it just, for whatever reason, they don't click in the ring.
The opposite happens too, right?
Oh, yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah. But I do think this match itself lends itself to not mattering as much. As Oracle made the same point I was going to make. A lot of the stuff that has happened in their other matches is it's gotten kind of clunky, and that won't matter as much here. They're also both lunatics. So they're going to do some crazy shit in this match.
Do crazy shit, yeah.
Yeah. And that is another thing. They're friends, so they trust each other. So they're going to do some crazy, whether their chemistry's been great or not, they're actually friends. So they're going to trust each other to do some ridiculous stuff. I think Stokely's liable to do something really dumb in this match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think Statlander is winning here. The Mexico idea is intriguing to me. My big issue with that is AEW is not very good at giving us highlights of what happened there. And if you're going to blow that feud off there, then I would like to get, an extended look at that. Even if they just put the match on fucking YouTube or something to where we can see it without having to pay. I also Grand Slam would make sense because they're both New York people. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for this match though. I think both of them are going to show out. I think both of them are going to bleed, as Lambo asked in the chat. I think both of them are going to bleed. And I think they're going to do some crazy. I really think they're going to do some crazy shit. I hope they both are fine at the end of it. but we say that about every professional wrestling match. So that's what professional wrestling is. And I hope they fucking go for it. And I hope the crowd's with them. And I hope we get something really. I think there's a chance we're gonna get a really memorable spot. And whether the match itself is like super memorable, who knows? But I think we're gonna get a memorable moment in this match.
I agree, and I think it's kind of needed because, again, it's not that Willow's like fallen off, but I do think they've failed her in the sense that she actually felt like one of the promotion's like big stars going into the Mercedes match, and she's kind of been. Again, she still has a great reaction, but like I always just the way they did the turn, it's kind of followed suit in that the turn felt like really hurried and like, and up next we have, and the angle's kind of the rest of it's kind of followed suit. It's not bad.
So
It's just
inconsistent
not
with that, man. Like,
it's a real problem.
They do that to the back shit sometimes, and then sometimes they linger on stuff for too long and nothing happens. It's like I don't.
It's weird. Sometimes it's quality control stuff, but I'm still very hopeful, and I think both of these, I think they're two of the top talents in the promotion, to be honest. So I think they're going to kill it
tonight, Joe. I don't know if you end up watching Collision, but like at least watch that on Twitter or whatever. They did a good job with it.
Oh, I believe it.
Were good,
absolutely.
Because Statlander's been. Because Stokely's been talking for her. Like, good, she showed, but like, still, this was her time to actually talk for herself.
Yeah,
and she did a really good job.
I think they're both strong promos. Willow's a really strong promo. I think Kris is underrated in that regard, to be honest.
Willow's a phenomenal promo. That build to the Mercedes match.
She was incredible.
Yeah,
incredible in that deal. Novi, what do you think, mate? Kris and Willow.
I love both these wrestlers so much. I think they're both so incredible. I think they're some of the best women's wrestlers in the world, to be quite honest with you. I really wanted to like all their matches. I really did. I got to a point where I wanted to lie about it because I just didn't like them very much. Like you guys have all said, it just didn't click. Nothing felt on. It never felt like they got that second gear, and it's really unfortunate. I also thought this feud would do a lot more to elevate both these women, because Willow, like you guys mentioned, coming off the Mercedes feud, she cut that promo in front of the crowd, and I feel like the AEW audience was ready to run through walls for her, and it felt like a big moment. The Mercedes match too, she was really good in it. I thought really highly of that match, and I thought this was going to be the feud. We're going to take them both to the next level. We're going to make them both the top stars of this division. And I think it's just unfortunate that it hasn't really clicked. And like you guys have all mentioned, it's just been inconsistent when it comes to stuff on TV. I really like the segment from tonight because it was something different. Somehow in the however long this feud is spanned, we haven't seen something like that. And it's really, I think it's a big misstep from them. I think this match does have a higher chance of being much better. Like you guys have all mentioned, the other matches have been clunky, but you don't have to worry about that in a match like this. It's good if it's clunky. It's good if it's messy. It adds more to the match than taken away from it. So I think they're going to go crazy. I think we see them both bleed. And I'd probably say Stat wins. I would like it to be a feud ender, but also I don't think it should, because we should be feeling better about both these women coming out of it. And I don't think this match is going to make us feel better, even if it is really good, because it's just been inconsistent on TV. They haven't given it the shine that it needed, hasn't given it the platform that it's needed. So I'd like to see this maybe continue to Grand Slam like it's kind of been floated. They're both from New York. I think the crowd would be really with them from there, in that arena, in that setting. So I think Stat wins. I think it's something nefarious. Maybe Stokely gets involved. Who knows? I don't think it's going to be necessarily like clean. But it's going to be a good match. The clunkiness is not going to matter. They're going to go crazy. They're going to bleed. That's kind of where I stand on it.
Well, like it, Novi, I think your mic settings have like switched. So
that's probably not good.
Like your audio changed like a couple minutes ago. You're fine though. We heard everything you said. Pac and Will Ospreay for the international title is our next focus, folks. We hope you've enjoyed this thus far. Please like the video and things of that nature. This, of course, Pac earned this shot in the Continental. What did they call that match? That four-way? Remember the Continental Clash or something? It was a match that was like an all-star match. They put together, and Pac won it.
The original one.
Wait, something just happened to the sound. Something else just happened. Okay, hold up, everyone, hold on. Close the doors. Okay. What just happened? It's gone now. Did anyone else hear that? Or was it just my...
It sounded like rain.
It might be me. Hang on.
Okay. It stopped. It just stopped. Right,
Sound like cars driving by.
Everyone, we're going to be okay. We're going to make it. Because Package Wrestling Will Ospreay, as I said, he got that title shot in that match I mentioned. It seems like they've kind of told us where Bill's headed next, right? With a certain Ricochet fella
Rico.
who went the distance with young Clive Fletch, it must be said.
Haven't
By the
seen
way,
him
in all
since.
seriousness, I'm not even trying to be a dick. I hope Ricochet's okay because, like,
Yeah,
it's
we
kind of
haven't seen
spooky
him
when on
since,
TV.
yeah.
And he did look like he was really banged up at the end of that match. So, because I don't buy for a second that he was just blown up. I think he was hurt. You know, I was a little worried about that when we did the Grin along. So hopefully he's okay. This is, you know, I think one of the pay-per-view's lead attractions. Very intrigued how this comes out. Pac, the last time he got a big-time singles match was the Okada match, which, as Oracle mentioned earlier, was a big hit as pay-per-view opener. I think you'd be kind of foolish to doubt him here. This feels like it's going to rock the house, to be honest with you. Caden, what do you think? Pac and Ospreay.
I'm really excited for this. Will Ospreay is my second favorite wrestler ever, right behind Bryan Danielson. And like almost any match he has, I'm going to end up loving, especially like when he's facing a guy who can kind of who can match the style, but like he doesn't like Pac doesn't do it the exact same way. He wrestles a very different version of like the flippy style, and Will doesn't even wrestle like as flippy anymore, but still like uses like a version of it. And like they had the match. What was it? 5 years ago? I think it was 2019 or 2018. I think it was 2019. They have that match that Tony was there for. And he always talks about that. He brings it up all the time with Will. And so I'm interested in like how far they've come, what they're going to do here that's going to like mirror that, but also show like they are incredibly different wrestlers now. And especially Will. Like Will's just not even close to where he was in 2019 as a wrestler. I do have Will winning, obviously. Like that's not even like a doubt in my mind. But this could be like one of the matches of the year, like on pay-per-view. If they tell the story correctly, it could be like I always go back to like Takeshita. The Takeshita match with Ospreay is like one of my favorite matches of the year, and that's what like it could top depending on like how they execute things, rather than like the Danielson match with Ospreay was pretty good, but like it lacked like a intensity for me a little bit. And so if they can kind of get that there and get to that level that the Takeshita match had, we're in for a treat.
What surprised me, Caden Lee. Interesting cat. Catches me off guard. Sometimes I think he's going one way and then he zigs when you expect him to zag. Did you hear that? Wasn't keen on Ospreay Danielson.
Yeah.
He's two favorite wrestlers of all time. Incredible. I like it. It's, I was a compliment, to be clear. The Oracle of Wrestling, Will Ospreay, your second favorite wrestler of all time. Pac, I think, just a bit outside, but they're both in the conversation, certainly. You know what? I spoke to you about this at length. We talked about it on the air and then we messaged about something. I think you're actually going to really like this match because Pac, the way I would phrase it, is Pac is an adult high flyer. In that he's I think there's a reputation Pac has, and Caden kind of hinted at this. So like, I think he's actually quite different to the way people perceive him at this point. And I think that's going to be apparent tomorrow. I think you know where I'm coming from, Erica. What do you think?
So with Will, it's interesting because like I really like enjoyed his promos, especially the one where he was building the Danielson match. Thought it was great. Like his matches are like some matches I don't like and some I think are quite good. So like Pac is kind of like an interesting one because he's like I could see it being really good and I can also see it being a match that like gets on my nerves. It's kind of middle of the road. You know, for me and my particular taste. I'm actually looking at Will's matches from this year.
Cage match?
The cage match.
I'm trying to figure out.
You love the Lee Moriarty match, which popped me huge.
Yes, I did. I thought that match was quite good.
Yeah.
I also like the Roddy match a good bit.
I like Roddy.
He's
He's a
good.
good wrestler.
He had a good one with Brian Cage on Collision, and then another one with Kyle O'Reilly on Collision. That was good.
He had a good one with Lance Archer. I thought that was fun.
He did have the good
It's
one.
Revolution.
Good pro wrestler, I think.
I didn't like the Takeshita match as much as others. I hated the Kyle Fletcher match. That was terrible. The Shibata match.
I get a 5.
The Shibata match was okay, maybe. If I
When did he wrestle Shibata?
That was a good match. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was in like I think it was in like late April, early May.
Yeah, it was pretty
I
early.
remember
It was like no, it was like
It was good.
it was like
How
right
Collision.
after the
match was that match good?
What
Which one?
The Will versus Hobbs. Will
Isn't that when is that when Hobbs got hurt?
No,
No,
that
no.
was Hobbs.
No?
I don't remember.
He got hurt in
I
dailies
remember that match
against
That's
Mox.
right. Yeah, that's right.
The Hobbs
That's
match
right.
was good. The Hobbs match was really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. You like that match, Oracle? It was shorter and he bumped big.
Oh yeah. Okay. You have to remember the amount of wrestling I've watched is like ridiculous this year. The Claudio match was really good, right? I remember liking that match
Mhm.
a bit. The Danielson match I thought was great, but not like all-time contender. But I thought it was match of the year contender. Let me think here. The Gauntlet match, he was good in that Gauntlet match that he won. The Moriarty match I liked a lot. Shane Taylor match was pretty good.
Shane
The
Taylor's
Roddy
really
match
good. I
was,
thought.
Taylor
was
was
real
good,
good.
Yeah.
The other Casino, like he's been in all the Gauntlets he's been in.
Mhm.
The
Oracle,
Kyle
did
O'Reilly
you-
match I liked.
Did you watch the cage match in New Japan?
No, he did not.
No.
I'll never let him see that ever.
No,
Ospreay
You don't need to do that.
There's no chance I like that, right? I
What
can't
one?
Which one?
remember that. Ospreay and Ray Phoenix.
No way. No way you
there's
like
no
that.
way-
I can't
there's
remember
no way I
between
like
two.
I don't
that.
even
I don't remember that
that
one.
match.
Me
It
neither.
was a
remember that
Dynamite main event.
Must not have been very good.
So he got a
Willow's
lot of
match
praise.
was
dude.
good. I like the
Yeah,
Lance
maybe it
Archer
was.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I did not like the Max match. Either match.
didn't?
Like, the first half of the
Really?
first half of the 60-minute match is great. The second half, no. And then I've already said my thoughts on all, and I just didn't like the match. But
Yeah.
I don't know why I did all that. Just
I don't even. So you looking forward to it?
yeah. I mean, like, it's an interesting one because I just don't know. I guess my point was that like
You liked
there was
85% of his matches.
that I hated, but I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel. Like it's
Yeah.
interesting. It's a match I'm interested in, but I just don't know if I don't know. I don't know.
don't
Will's
It's
winning.
got you conflicted right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro pulled up cage match. That was amazing.
Went down the match guide and everything.
hmm
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Listed matches
know?
I don't even remember.
Just don't know. He doesn't know,
Yeah.
folks.
I honestly don't know. I don't have the answer for you. I do think Will's going to retain,
I appreciate it. All right, good stuff.
yeah. We'll see.
Oops.
Join us live tomorrow on Late Night Grin Gold, folks,
Yes.
for the
There you go.
AEW All Out 2024 watch along.
Which
Grin
tier
along.
is that, Joe?
That's the Grinner Circle tearing up, brother. Grinner Circle, Grinner Gold. You get yourself a Grin Along. We're also going to do some TV ones later this month because I think this is the last paper of the month. So you get a couple bonus TV ones. And next month, I think we'll be heavy on the TV because we're definitely going to do
I
the
did
Tuesday
do
Night
that,
War
didn't I?
stuff.
Well, he's learned how to wrestle TV in the States. He's gotten better.
Lee Moriarty showed him the ropes.
Maple
All
Leaf
right.
Pro next month.
There you go, Maple Leaf Pro. Also, the FTR are doing Prestige this month, which I'm doing going to watch that match only. I'm just going to hop on live for that. The rest in the Midnight Heat, fellas. Okay, Novi, Pac and Ospreay, what do you think?
Oracle is very conflicted. I am not. I really like Ospreay. I'm a very big fan. I've liked Pac a lot. I've always liked him, but I feel like he's been particularly on form as of late. I feel like since he came back, he's kind of locked in and wants to kind of show everybody who he is. This is a good match to do it. I think this match, if you guys remember the Pac versus Okada one, I feel like it's kind of going to resemble that a decent little bit. I don't think it's going to be the high-flying spectacle that some people expect it to be. I think we're going to do some, how'd you phrase it earlier, some adult high-flying. We're going to do a lot of that. I think the match will be very, very good. The crowd's going to go crazy for it. They go crazy for Ospreay no matter what. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. It'll definitely be like, there will be a group of people that consider it the best of the year, and there'll be a group of people that consider it one of the worst matches they've ever seen. So, as with every Ospreay match, but this one in particular, I think will be pretty damn good.
There will be a GIF in this match that will be an entire day of conversation.
He's gonna pop up at one or something. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
which
like,
will be funnier because it will probably be like the only spot of that type in the whole match. Because I could be wrong. I do not think this is going to be like showy performative, like staring at each other a bunch. I could be wrong, and if I am, I'll just simply turn my camera off. But
No, Pac doesn't wrestle like that now. He's serious.
He doesn't really. No, he doesn't.
Will doesn't either. Does like he
Well,
breaks out the
he
sauce
can
in his
be
special
kinda-
every once in a while. He can.
Sometimes.
He just
yeah,
doesn't.
he
like,
can be kind of.
Yeah.
I'm with you. He's got a lot better, but I do. There's still dangerous things in his brain, you know. Still.
Oh yeah.
He'll grow up.
yeah.
It happens to all of us. He's great. I honestly have liked almost every match he's had in AEW. You've liked all of his matches, confirmed shoot, right?
Yeah, see, the thing about Will Ospreay is that he should be the centerpiece of all elite wrestling for about the next
I heard
decade.
that.
Should he win the belt at All In?
He should have,
I
yes.
agree with that 100%. He
Yeah.
should absolutely be the centerpiece of the company. Even if
He-
I'm not his biggest fan.
There are 3 hours of television in tonight with the backstage Will Ospreay promo with him staring directly into the camera and cutting a promo about this match. And it ended with my wife just declaring that he's like the best promo that she's ever seen, which was like an insane statement to me, but she meant it. But so that's been the other thing that I've got built in with Ospreay is like, I don't think I've ever seen her like a wrestler as much as she likes Will Ospreay. So quite the experience to like, you know, it's kind of like watching Alex watch Cody Rhodes, something like that.
Tyrese Sane.
Yeah. You know, Jack Crosby watching Cody Rhodes until he won the belt and Jack immediately turned on him. Started saying Kevin Owens should win the belt, but neither here nor there. Anyway, this match. I think this match is going to be fucking awesome. I've liked the build to it. You know, they haven't done a whole lot, but I've liked the little stuff they've done. And then
Me too, yeah.
the promo that Ospreay cut tonight, especially because I'll be honest, I didn't know half the story that he told tonight. And it made me much more excited for the match than I was. I'm sure he was exaggerating a little bit, but
Pac's
still.
been good in the build too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Will like framed this whole thing as like he's been following Pac every step of his career and getting told that, you know, you're good, but you're not Pac. And then he surpasses him at every time. Now he's going to do it again. Yeah, this is going to be phenomenal. I'm sorry. Will Ospreay's, you know, whatever. You can talk about business and all that stuff, but he's the centerpiece of this promotion. Whether he's the champion or not, you know, whether he should, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say the Danielson thing wasn't incredible. It's one of my favorite things in the history of professional wrestling. But, yeah. Well, you build the promotion around Will Ospreay. I've been blown away, and I had high expectations to begin with. He's a better promo than I ever thought was possible. That's been like the most stunning. You know, he had a couple of the things with Max I didn't love. But for the most part, like, I'm so like that promo tonight. That's just a professional wrestler staring directly into the camera and cutting a promo. And that's the sport that I grew up on. And I love that shit. No interviewer, no, just he stood there and stared directly into the camera. And that was how they ended their go home. I mean, not really, because it's Rampage. You know, there was nobody watching, but still, like, they cut to a backstage promo of Will Ospreay staring directly into the camera and selling his match against Pac, and it worked. Like, that's what the business is all about, Joe Holbert.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard it's all about that.
It used to be, anyway.
Used to be better.
Yeah. Well,
$3.99 a month. Hikaru Shida, Mercedes Mone, AEW TBS title. This was, I think you could kind of see this coming with the way they wrestled the TV match. It was wrestled like a preview of things to come. And I liked the match, but it just felt like a TV cut for a pay-per-view deal. And here it is. I think, I haven't seen it yet. I'll be reviewing it on Monday. Mercedes, by all accounts, had a strong showing in New Japan last Friday, which is encouraging. Shida, I agree with Oracle's assessment, is kind of hit or miss, I should say. But it feels like this is my big thing with this. I really think they should let this open. I really do. Whatever you thought of the Brit match, and we've all given our opinion, and that's that. That was deep in the show, and like they were digging themselves out of a hole at the bell. Let's give this one the complete opposite and let them work with a blank slate and give them 20 minutes. Just have a wrestling match. You know, I think that would be the play. Mercedes' reign and honestly just run would benefit greatly from this being like great.
Yeah.
Because based on what we've heard, and again, I haven't seen the match. Based on what I've heard about last week's match, it isn't a case of her not being able to have great matches. It's just, things have been like the Stephanie Vaca match was like good, but nowhere near as good as their first match, and it just didn't quite click. And it was Mercedes. It was actually a genuine off night for Mercedes. You could see it. I think she'd be the first to concede on that if somehow she was on the late night Grin. But this is a case where she's wrestled Shida a couple of weeks ago. She's been wrestling consistently, so she's back in a rhythm. This kind of ticks all the boxes. I would put this in the opening spot and I hope, I think this should be very, very good. Obviously, the result has it's pretty much a lock, but I'm very hopeful about this, and I think it does need to deliver. Novi, what do you think?
I think their TV match left a lot on the table. I was wanting that match to be great, but then it kind of it got cut off at a certain point, and I really wanted it to go to pay-per-view, and they actually got it to go to pay-per-view. I think really highly of Shida whenever she's on. You guys are very correct. She has those nights where she's not, but when she's on, I genuinely feel like she's tip-top division still. She has those nights where she just rocks it. She hits hard. I thought tonight she did really well against Diana, who had a particularly good performance, actually. And yeah, you mentioned how Mercedes, I think she needs a great match. She needs something to establish herself as the great wrestler that everyone says she is. There will be people that haven't seen her wrestle before. That happens. I think having a great match on pay-per-view against one of AEW's original stars would be a great piece of her catalog. So I'm really hoping this match is good. I think the opener would be a great spot for it. They need the heat. They really do. I think most women's matches do still. Like you said, they didn't place the Britt Mercedes match too well, and it was worse because of that. There were other factors, but it was worse because of that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this match. I'm really hoping that I really hope it's really good because I like Mercedes. I love Shida. So yeah, I think I definitely have Mercedes retaining, without a doubt. I think it's kind of a given.
To your point about the heat, the thing with this, and this stuff's always important when you talk about pay-per-view cards, folks. I know it's boring when we talk about placement, but the thing is, no one's going to buy Shida's going to win. So the deeper you get in the card, the harder it is to get people to buy it on those false finishes. So it makes your job harder. I don't think this match is going to suck if it's in the second half of the show. I don't think it'll be bad in any case. I think its ceiling is way higher working with a fresh crowd. That's the main thing. Confirm shoot. What do you think?
I think this match is going to be fine. I hope I'm wrong and it's better than fine. I love Shida. And more often than not, when she wrestles now, I end up sad about it. That's just the most honest answer I can give because I remember how she used to be. And she's just not that way anymore. It's been a long time since I've seen the Shida that I was one of my favorite wrestlers in the world there for a couple years. I hope she proves me wrong. I hope this is fucking awesome. I hope I don't want to say turn back the clock because she's not old, but no. I want this to be great. I just have my doubts it's going to be. I think the finish is going to be stupid. I think Camille being banned from ringside telegraphs that someone new's joining Mercedes group. Who that is, I don't know. But I don't think it's, I don't know. I think it's going to be a 3-star match.
Star ratings. But you really are in a spreadsheet mood tonight. I love it.
Which is not bad, but I just don't see this being the. I hope again. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's fucking awesome. I hope Shida looks great, but I didn't really like the Diana match very much tonight. I just don't.
Wow, you're really struggling with this.
I don't see it anymore, man. It's sad. This is the best thing I can say. And Joe, we've been doing these shows for years, and you can remember that Shida was
I like you a lot, yeah.
When she called herself the ace of the division, I rolled my eyes. That's where I'm at this point.
You rolled your eyes?
It's over.
It's over?
It feels over. I hope I'm wrong.
If there's anyone to bring it out of her again, it's Mercedes, right?
I agree with that. Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Jen Pepperman.
Maybe that's the answer. Maybe just maybe Jen can share a lay a forearm in. Oracle. Yes. TBS title. You excited?
I thought their match last month was pretty good, like I said.
not great, but pretty good. Had some promise. Mercedes is a very ambitious wrestler, one of those very ambitious types. Laser stuff out beforehand. Always ends up having pretty darn good match structure, which I'm like, that's like my whole thing is structure,
Yes.
So now execution matters, and there's evidence that when that doesn't apply, the execution does not apply. Doesn't really matter how good the structure is. We saw that a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
that match was laid out well, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah, I mean it was very well laid out.
Yeah, it was.
So I think there's a chance this could actually be like one of those like excellent like technical type matches that like ends up being surprisingly really good. And I also kind of agree with Shoot, and like Shida's been sad for like 9 months now. So like
sad.
I hope that I hope Mercedes, as Novi pointed out, can bring that fire back a little bit, and we have a really good match here. I'm actually leaning towards a more positive outlook on this match. I think it actually might be pretty good.
Because Mercedes heard the noise about Wembley. She's going to go out there and try and have a great match.
Yeah. She's going to go out there and really try to have a
they should have time because 8 matches on the main card.
I mean they're probably going to get close to probably close to 20 here. I mean
I think 20,
probably likely.
17
Mercedes winning this, I think so too. Do we have with someone mentioned the Renegade Twin thing? We think that's the finish. We think
Mercedes, I don't
know. I sure hope not.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that either. But there's always
always a chance.
Bad.
No, but like they just lose on TV all the time. You can't.
Robin is actually good. Yeah, and Robin's
the one who like hits really hard, right? And like
yes, her dad keeps liking my tweets whenever I tweet about her.
One of them still hurt?
I bought those stocks also in 2022. I've had those ones for a while. I
like them a lot, but they've gotten like Robin's gotten squashed on TV like twice in the last 3 weeks, and like.
Have you considered it would be less for Camille to do?
I have it. Yeah. I have somebody else who I think it could be.
Bruce Pritchard.
I kind of think like there's a chance that we see Megan Bayne.
Okay.
I'm not
Where is Megan Bayne?
GCW.
Like, genuine question.
She's doing a
US Indies.
GCW, and she's doing Marigold still, isn't she?
No, I don't think so.
I thought she was teasing something for Marigold.
That whole situation is so fucking weird.
I don't know. I have no clue.
If it's Megan Bayne, I'm back in. Like that's a good idea.
Yeah,
but
she's good.
Yes, she is.
She's in a music video not too long ago.
Was she in the Claro one?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. Mold.
Claire's very good.
I just found out who Chapel Roan is like 5 days ago. So
let's go.
HOTTO.
Good album. Good album.
Carpenter was like
5 days
good. That's a good album too. Those are 2 good albums.
I like the Sabrina Carpenter album. I had a lot of fun with it. It's just a fun little album.
Yeah.
There you go,
Sorry,
folks.
Ibu
you're fine.
Well, Ibu didn't know what he was talking about. He was on one. You gave him some good like songs on that, and he just didn't know what he was talking about.
Look,
that's very
at
unfortunate.
some point in life, you lock in the music you listen to, and it doesn't evolve at all. If you're a complete fucking loser like I am, and I think Ibu's in the same boat, it doesn't change. It's the same shit every day. You're not going to add to it. The only way you add to it is if one of the artists I already listened to drops something new, then I may add to it. It's just, that's the way I live my life. I'm 27, all right? Part of growing up, folks. That's how I approach wrestling, too. All right?
Very adult-like.
I'm still waiting for there to be a vault to upload some new Arn Anderson matches so I can add some to the rotation.
Joe, there's also, speaking to runtime in your 8 matches, there's now the Mariah May Championship celebration tomorrow night. So that's probably going to be.
Yeah.
Something's happening there.
That was great, the way that it sounded like you got choked up talking about it. It was
I know.
like, Mariah May Championship celebration.
Everything since she won the title definitely hasn't been disappointing.
Angle alert. We are sounding the sirens for the angles.
Okay.
Maybe some DMD.
They need to give her a follow.
Shut the fuck up.
Via Wikipedia, those 2 early matches we talked about are official now.
Oh, fuck.
Official via Wikipedia.
What one?
Three-way tag and the trios matches we talked about. Did we talk about Bang Bang Gang versus Gates of Agony?
No, but
You want
Agony?
You don't need to.
No, that's
Bang Bang
okay.
Gang's winning.
We put over the guns.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
Bang Bang
They're
Gang.
winning.
I could see this actually. Angle alert from Mariah. I would not do this. I want to be very clear. I could see this.
Oh,
No, I would
she's
not
been
do
teasing.
Jules, but yeah, I could definitely see a lights out situation.
Oh God.
As Mercedes goes to do as Mariah goes to do something outlandish.
Will she wear the hat? You think?
Mariah?
No. Jules.
I think it's whatever
Yeah.
this new version
Has
of
to.
Tony is.
Or which hat?
I swear to God, if they put Mariah
question.
May with Britt Baker, I'm going to lose my mind.
They're not going to. Bro.
That match would.
Brits and Tony
They
Khan's at the
reference-
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't
I
reference Brit.
I feel like she's
They're not
done,
mentioning
honestly.
They do need to give Mariah something to do though, because we've
Yes.
discussed this before. She has a lot. She still needs to get herself over as an individual because she's been attached to Tony the whole time. It's like you have to help her with that. So,
So far, it hasn't been great.
Yeah, but she'll be fine.
She's fucking awesome on that wrestling show or whatever.
Yeah, she's
With
money.
that
She'll
dork,
be fine.
as
Jesus,
opposed to
Steph,
us.
no, Caden, you've not spoken about this match, right?
No.
Shida and Mercedes. Okay, go for it.
No, I genuinely don't think that this was the original plan for Mercedes at All Out. I think there was something else. I don't know that for sure. I just don't think. I think they were gonna run a Brit rematch at some point, and either Mercedes was like not gonna work this show, or they're gonna do like a tag match to build it. And and Tony saw that match and saw how we all reacted and was like, no. Okay, we need to get Brit off TV. We're not going to mention her. We're gonna throw her into the Shadow Realm where they throw Alex Marvez when he's done doing interviews. And he put Shida on this show, and I'm excited for it. Like Shida can be hit or miss, but it's pay-per-view. It's Mercedes like wanting to show like that she still has it because she also felt the heat from the Brit match a bit, even though like it wasn't her fault. She like acknowledged in her in her newsletter, she was like, oh yeah, it's my fault, and took accountability. So I think she's gonna want to show out. I think Shida's gonna want to show out. She hasn't had a big pay-per-view match in a really long time, like for AEW. So yeah, but Mercedes is winning.
Speaking of people called Alex in AEW, I was watching Collision last week, and Budrow Matthews was wrestling. And he was wrestling a little fella called Commander. And Commander came out with Alex Abrahantes, and I legitimately laughed out loud at just like that still being a thing that happens.
I forgot about that.
Just manages every luchador. Fucking
Every
other
single
hologram.
one.
Not
because they actually
hologram.
care about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has not
Incredible
touched
bit.
Beast Mortos yet, so let's keep it that way.
True. That's fair. Yeah.
Joey Hologram teamed with Dustin Rhodes tonight.
I saw that. Jumanji Hunter says, who's your US Women's Wrestler of the Year? So I assume this means like in the scene, right? I would say EO.
Of this year, I'm assuming.
Yeah. It says of the years, to be fair. You could just say like, who you got in 2008. No, I got EO, I think. This year.
I'm 100% on Suri. She's been fantastic this year. Genuinely some of the best matches.
US.
Oh, US. Oh, shit. Yeah, my bad.
US. Oracle US.
Well, then if it's US, then the EO match and Marigold doesn't count.
I know. I'm looking at the World Wrestling Federation. She has good matches with Sonya Deville. She doesn't. That match wasn't good.
No, it was really bad.
I guess.
I don't fucking know, man. What do you want from me? I'm trying my best.
I'll go with Roxanne.
Actually, no. Caden's right. Roxanne Perez. What am I doing? I'm forgetting my own bits.
Roxanne had that Jada Parker match was pretty good.
She's a real professional wrestler and our last hope, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm going Tony for me.
T-Bone Tone. All right. Tone Storm. We got some Roxanne Perez love.
Roxanne is so good, dude.
She is.
I would not be mad at that. Anybody who says Roxanne, that's a very valid point.
I've also had those. I've had those talks since 2021.
Shoot, any strong feelings on this?
Athena. It's always Athena.
Lord Oracle.
EO's a great pick.
Thank you.
EO and Roxanne has been awfully because this is, I know it's an AEW show, but she was really good when she first came into the Fed, and then of course she was great on the Indies, and then she had a really bad year last year.
Yeah, she
She
plateaued.
really
Yeah.
regressed because classic NXT. And then the turn has really helped her to go back into form of like actually being a good grappler again. And she's been very, very good this year. So I think she's also a solid pick. I think I might pick Roxanne because she's going in there with a lot of green wrestlers and really getting,
Super green wrestlers.
you know,
Yeah.
and like I like Jada Parker. She has upside, but like she's very green and they had a pretty good match.
Yeah, like a real match too.
Mm-hmm. Working ribs
Her
and shit,
matches.
like working the ribs and like
Yeah, and like we talked about this on the Grin Grappler about NXT's the way they train the grapplers, and it's not. I don't mean it spitefully. It's just a lot of the matches from young talent down there. It looks like a routine.
it's
Gymnastics.
funny.
Avoids
In
that.
June, I might have picked Willow, but now because we talked about it, in the
Yeah.
Kris match, I just think she's fallen off since June.
Yeah,
It's not her fault either, which is unfortunate.
No,
for sure. Any of the rest of the year stuff was always reliant on a bunch of stuff out of the talent's hands, right? It's very difficult. But
All circumstance.
100%.
yeah, and that's why Roxanne's kind of the favorite for me is because, as Oracle said, she's kind of positioned to have these showings of like, wow, she did that with this opponent, that opponent, right?
Mhm.
That was interesting for me. Is like, I think AEW's women's division got a lot better this year, and that was still a really hard question for me to answer as someone who only watches AEW.
Yeah.
Like, the division as a whole has been better, but there still really hasn't been.
It depends on your criteria, right?
Yeah, that too. Like, if you're gonna
Tony
if we're-
Storm has done a lot,
right?
definitely.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking solely matches, which is Tony Storm is probably the real answer.
I think she's had good matches too, Tony.
He has.
Yeah.
Especially since the
Azumi match. I was
Azumi
there.
match, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the issue with why it's like so hard to find an AEW's division specifically is because they're limited to only having one match, or like their own limit of like only having one match on Dynamite or like Collision. And Collision, if they have two, like either both are squashes or one is, you don't get the quality
For
of
sure.
like people aren't consistently having really good matches like
yeah.
Will or Danielson. or
Aminata's
whatever.
had a good year.
There are
Roxanne
very
specifically
few.
has.
The
She could have a
women's
great end of
division's
year.
had
Aminata.
very few opportunities to have great TV matches.
Yeah.
Very few.
Bro, that fucking four-way women's
They
match
gotta
for the
be
number
so.
one contendership to face Mercedes. Oh,
Mhm.
I thought there were times I thought I was watching fucking Battle Arts.
Yeah, that shit ruled,
They're
didn't
so
it?
Deeb and Aminata were so good in that match.
They're gonna wrestle again.
Well, I
They-
think-
I sure hope.
tonight.
They need time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I do not think there are many wrestlers in the promotion that have a higher ceiling than Queen. I think Queen Aminata, she's how snappy her stuff is. You compare that with her personality, like she just jumps off the page, dude. My God, her
Those
her
four-
promos and shit with Red.
Yeah,
She's
those four
money,
main
dude.
women
She was
in Ring of
killing
Honor
it in
should all
ROH.
That
be-
match, and like Rosa got mad like 5 times in that
Yeah.
match. It fucking
He's so
ruled.
sick. Yeah,
She got mad and started like hitting really hard again, and I was like, all right, there we go.
Strap the rocket. I would strap
Yeah.
the rocket to Queen Aminata.
Those four main women from Ring of Honor. Billy's still a little raw TV wise, but all four of them are.
She'll get there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's already made
going
huge
crazy.
strides, and she's
Yes.
hurt right now. But
Is she?
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's
Aw.
really bad. But
It was
I've
the
quit
tag
watching
match,
Ring of
right?
Honor again. So
It was the tag
But-
match, wasn't it?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's like her foot. I think I don't think it's anything too major. But
There's a lot of talent in that division, dude. There's a lot of
Yeah.
I think they deserve credit for improving it, like definitely. But there's still like a long way to go in terms of really featuring how strong that division is.
Red Velvet
Like-
fucking rules.
We should get to a point where across the 3 TVs, there's like a great match in that division most
It's-
weeks. You know?
It
Yeah.
sounds like they're getting another hour of TV somewhere, which is good or bad. But God, I hope they.
Do you think?
Yeah, it sounds like they're getting another.
I think it's the same number of hours, just like combining them.
And it sounds like the last thing that I've seen is they're getting another hour. I don't know where, and it might be Ring of Honor. That might be all the hour is. But it sounds like they're getting another hour.
I don't know.
If they
Someone
tape that
can-
after Collision, I hope it's not ROH.
Supposedly there's some dead crows going around. I don't know.
The thing that I think everyone's heard is that Collision and Rampage will be together,
Yeah,
which
I
as a
think they-
Thursday show, which
Oh.
is going to be really taxing on creative, really tough.
That's
If
good.
you do it right, it could be great because you could actually feed into the Thursday show with a hook. But you cannot do the thing you're currently doing of like, oh, we'll just like announce stuff in the afternoon tomorrow. Like, dude,
Yeah.
if you have it the next night. Like, you need to give me a reason to lock that into my week, right? Because it's going to be 5 hours across 2 days. Man. That's a lot.
That's a
Do a
lot.
soft brand split. I will always be in favor. Just do a soft
Maybe.
split.
I definitely get it. It's hard. I think there's a lot to be said for it. I just do think there's a case of like, with the current ticket sales and stuff, you want to be kind of all hands on deck. I also understand the argument. It's a half step back to take 2 steps forward, right? So,
Sorry to interrupt, and I'll bring this up because I know we're about to tackle the world title match here, but Bianca has been awesome this year. It's just that's like, especially in the last couple months.
Yeah.
She just, there's no way she could be in that discussion. But man, has she been good in those tag matches lately?
Yeah, I agree. All right.
I don't know
Jackie
about
Berry.
Midnight, but I think this is what's happening. Yes.
Ring
I
of
don't know
Honor on
about
True
Midnight,
TV.
but I think that's going to
Pop.
happen.
Jackie Berry, Bryan Danielson, AEW World title. Oracle and I had a hilarious reaction to this on last week's Dynamite Grin Along because we both thought we were getting Chrissy Cage, and instead we got Jackie Pels. As the kind of smoke cleared, I was kind of like, oh, it's fine. He beat him at Vegas. It'll be fine. I don't really... This wouldn't be among my preferred matches for Bryan Danielson. I do think it will be very good because it's Bryan Danielson wrestling a world title match, and Jack Perry is more than capable of having very good matches. We've seen that over and over. The big question here is, can Jack have a signature performance as a heel in AEW? His best match as a heel, to my knowledge, is the Shota Umino match from Chicago in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But in AEW, wherever it has been, whether you think it's just purely circumstance and luck, he hasn't really had a big-time match as a heel, right? Like, the Hook stuff, I don't think anyone's going to blame him for, especially with the evidence that's since revealed itself. That stuff, honestly, was actually pretty good relative to Hook's general form, especially the TV match. He had a good match with Van Dam. The Derby match, I didn't like this. The time was obviously slashed, right? So it's like...
huge.
The RVD one was really good.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Derby match, to be clear, when I say about the time being slashed.
Yeah, that was pretty
The
cool.
RVD match was good. So it just worked out that he hasn't really had a chance to really have a standout moment in ring as a heel. If ever there was a chance, it's wrestling Bryan Danielson for the world's title on pay-per-view, right? So this is kind of a chance to see where he's at. I think it's very obvious they've invested a lot of... They want Jack Perry to be a big deal, and I think he's done a decent job. His promos have got better. I still don't fully know what the scapegoat character is, but whatever, man, wrestling's dumb. Chicago will make or break this in terms of if we get an atmosphere like Windy City Riot, it will be fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If it becomes like just a tired crowd trying to get themselves over and arguing about CM Punk, I may lose interest very swiftly, to be completely honest. So that's where I stand on it. I think the work will be really good. It's a Bryan Danielson match. The floor is always very, very high. Oracle, you and I had that reaction. Have you come around to the idea any since then?
No, not really. The match will be good. But like, I think Jack Perry. Look, I like Jack Perry as an undercard babyface worker, tag worker.
He had a lot of good matches.
I think he's good at that. Like,
yeah.
I can't buy him as a dangerous tough guy. He's small.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
He's small.
I just don't fucking buy it. I really don't.
He's small.
It's really difficult to buy. Yeah, Danielson will win this match. I actually think Danielson will bleed again.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, this will be good. It'll be good, but Jack Perry's not this heel Jack Perry shit sucks, man.
You've not been into the heel Jack Perry thing, so I get it. I'm not that far away from you. I just really hope he can have a big. I hope he can change that one. I don't think the scapegoat thing is very fleshed out, to be honest. Which I don't really blame him for because I think that's what the creative team is supposed to be for.
Like 27.
Yeah, 27. Like sometimes he's like a chicken shit, but then like he's kind of like a badass. And Dr. Death Steve Williams, I'm not really sure. Caden, what do you think? Jack Perry, Bryan Danielson.
I'm interested in like what the goal is long term for this match. I think Fightful Select reported like last week that that this was like an AEW call because a lot of people thought, oh, Bryan's picking his people, and they said like, yeah, Bryan's picking his people, but like this one was AEW saying like we want Jack in this spot. So I'm interested in like what their goals are going to be, like to push this. Maybe they're finally going to do something with the scapegoat character. I do agree. I don't think it's been defined at all. I was at Wintrust when he worked Shota on April 12th, and that version of the character I thought was done very well because like he ended up getting like heavy Cheers. It was like a 50-50. And so he kind of like, he was able to do something interesting with the character there where it was, the best way to describe it is like when Max first came back, like what we kind of thought Max was going to be as the wolf of AEW or whatever. He was the wolf of wrestling. That's kind of like what it was, where he was like a little bit of a chicken shit, but also like kind of an anti-hero. And they just never really they just never defined it and never went in like one direction on it. And I think it could still work really well if you kind of just like, if you want to play that middle ground role, but like now that he's in the elite, you kind of got to go one way or the other. Just make him a chicken shit heel. I hope they like define that here of like, he's just going to be a little like smarmy little Nepo baby who thinks he's better, but he really isn't. And that's what they should do. And
yeah. And the heat is like, he's not a scapegoat. That should be the heat. But like, I think the problem with the gimmick is, and this was always the issue, and this is why I wanted them to bring him back as a babyface. The audience doesn't disagree with, they like Jack. They're on Jack's side of the thing that made him a scapegoat. Yeah. So the audience agrees he's a scapegoat in a lot of cases. This is where it gets complicated. But
I would have I would have dropped the scapegoat name like real quickly, like very soon after he came back. Like just make him like a little Nepo baby, little piece of shit heel, and you hate him because he's rich and he thinks he's better. Like there's a really easy direction to go there that he's like, because he came from his dad was a famous actor, but you can tell the story of like, oh, he's this guy who thinks he's a tough guy. He thinks he has this different background than he really does. Right. Yeah, he's full of it. And like, he's
a heel.
Yeah, just define it. And I hope that like they just go in that direction. I've been begging for it. And I wish they used All Out to do that, and they didn't. I don't know. Danielson's winning.
I really liked the idea at the time of when everyone thought he was going to join the Bucks, and he did in the ladder match, him actually going the other way and being like, fuck you guys for using my shit at Wembley for your own purpose. I thought it would have been so good. And the people would have really got with him, then he could have really been like a kind of, the man of the people, what dare I say. I don't know. Nonetheless, his belt looks pretty cool. Novi, what do you think?
His belt does look pretty cool. I like his metal work. He does that real well. I think they've done a big disservice with Jack, to be honest with you. I love Jack as a babyface. I thought he had some of the more underrated matches in AEW. I know a lot of people think highly of him, but I think they still underrate just how good that was. Just the big problem is they didn't define it like Kaden was talking about. They didn't know where to go. They didn't give him a place to be, and they haven't given him any matches to work. And I think that's the even bigger problem, because he hasn't gotten the chance to figure it out because he hasn't been in the ring. So it's really unfortunate. If there's anyone to bring it out of him, if there's anyone to do some great work with him, it's Bryan Danielson. That's a floor that's already really good. I think back to when Jack wrestled Kenny Omega, and I feel like that's kind of like we're on an equal floor there. Like they can bring it up and bring his work to a certain level. I'm looking forward to the match. I'm in agreement with Oracle. It's like I would have liked a lot of other different matches than this one. I would have much preferred Joe or Roddy or any of those names that we just are probably not going to get. But this is what we get, and I think it'll be good. But it leaves a lot to be desired and broadly. But in the moment, it'll be fun.
Hopefully, it rocks the house, dude. Hopefully so.
The crowd is so big. Like it's genuinely like the make or break for me. Like. They can't do the CM Punk chants. They can't. Like
it could be fun where it's like they do it a little bit. I just don't want it to be like the whole thing is like people arguing about, because it was, Matt can attest, like, and Caden was there in Chicago last year, and obviously it was the day after, so it was very different. A lot of the response to the CM Punk chants was like "fuck CM Punk." Like that's a real sentiment. Like it's not going to be like, the concern is that it becomes a Bryan Danielson match wrestled to the soundtrack of people having an argument about CM Punk, which I think any of us care to hear or see. But you're playing with that fire here, and I just hope it comes out well. The Windy City Riot atmosphere was great and assisted the match. And to Jack's credit, he played well. I hope this rules. Look, there are a lot of people who've decided they hate Jack because he had a fight. He had a whatever the fuck that was at Wembley. And that shit is...
He stood there while somebody threw a fit in front of him would be the real...
I could not imagine her giving a fuck about it.
Yeah.
Please don't restart it, man. Please, not like that. I couldn't give a fuck about it. I want to like what he does. Is that fucking AO in our chat?
It sure is.
What the fuck is AO doing in late night group chat?
None of us are defending Punk either.
If it's actually him, shout out to the big man. But yeah, like I couldn't imagine you fuck about. I want to be more into the scapegoat stuff than I have been because again, I think Jack was a great babyface. So we'll see what he comes up with here. Confirm, shoot. What are you thinking?
I like Jack Perry more than most of the people here, I think, except maybe Novi from listening to what he said. I think the worst thing that they did to Jack Perry was put him with the Elite. I don't understand how the scapegoat character works as part of a fucking group. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I thought the whole point of the scapegoat thing was like he's a loner. But I'm distracted now. Anyway,
you're distracted.
I think this match is going to be fucking awesome. I don't think they're going to do this, but what I would personally do is I would have Jack take Danielson to the limit, and I would have him shake hands after the match, and I would turn Jack babyface.
There you go.
And move on. If I don't think they're going to do that. If he's going to stay a heel, then he should get away from the Elite, and he should have Anna Jay with him.
This is Anna Jay.
Yes, she's shown more edge to her personality lately.
She got bad attitude, I hear.
Edge is crazy.
Yes.
Edge.
She has remarkable live show charisma. We throw it around a lot, but she really does.
The problem with that pairing is she's taller than him.
The Anna Jay, this is a dangerous usage of live show charisma because I actually don't know if she has live show charisma at all. I think in this case, it is the more implied element of live show charisma, which is very different, you know. Yeah. Like earlier, someone in our chat was like, Queen Eminata has live show charisma. And it's like, but she actually does have a lot of live show charisma.
Yes.
Joe, you're fighting this war big time lately. Joe, this is a battle.
You should say live show charisma a few more times.
Yeah, I think so.
Anna Jay is a dangerous person to do the live show charisma bit with. Because Anna Jay's appeal, quite frankly, beyond having live show charisma, is that she really doesn't have a wrestling personality. It often seems like she's just sort of strolled in.
Have you seen her Stardom promos though?
Yeah, and that's why they rule. Like she's kind of just like She had
a red chest.
Joe, have you seen her wrestle in person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I stand by what I said.
Look, listen, mate. I am not letting the haters take this stuff away from David. We need things to say about wrestling.
I'm still trying to figure out who the fuck AO is. I had no clue who that guy is.
I hope he's still here. He was working main events when I was in the Wrestle Purists territory. Him and I had many a match. We went brawl boy a couple of times. Very prominent grappler.
Good worker.
He's one of the funniest fuckers on Twitter that I've ever seen, if I'm being honest.
Even better on a pod.
I'm talking drop down tackle, hip toss, leapfrog.
I don't watch
drop kick
podcasts.
That's
besides coming in the chat to ask for thoughts on Nick Bockwinkel.
That's very fair.
Charisma? Actually, I don't know because I've never seen him live. But Cash Wheeler, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
Oh, I get your drift.
Oracle don't encourage them on this. Do not encourage. We need tools in our toolbox. Right. Okay.
Anyway, I think
it in a very distinct way.
We're 2.5 hours in, so I'm going to say that I think Jack Perry and Bryan Danielson is actually going to be quite good.
All right. Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure, but I'm more confident in it than I am the Shida match.
Main event. We've gone really long tonight, fellas. What's wrong with us?
Doing our thing.
It's mostly Oracle's fault.
Main event. I'm gonna do a synopsis on this because I think we've all said it a million times. And if you want to add stuff, add stuff. Mm-hmm. Synopsis? That's not right. Monologue. I'm not even gonna do a monologue. I'm gonna just do the talking points for us all, okay? Because we've gone long. Hangman and Page and Swerve Strickland. This is probably the best feud in the history of AEW. It's among the most successful things they've ever done. This is the feud that made Swerve Strickland a main event star in All Elite Wrestling and ultimately set him up to become the world champion, dethroning Samoa Joe, who Jim Ross congratulated for losing the belt. Hangman Adam Page, meanwhile, was kind of stale going into this feud. He'd been called off following the BCC Elite program, where he was kind of a background player. And this has got him back into the game. and he feels like he's one of the main characters of the promotion. And after 3 matches, one of which, of course, being a Wrestle Dream hit in the undercard, the second being the aforementioned Texas Death Match, and the third being a more classical match as they went the distance in a 30-minute time limit draw, this has built quite the reputation as kind of forever rivals. On Wednesday, a house was burnt down, and Hangman and Page cut a great promo.
Whose house?
Swerve's house. And he cut a great promo to set this up, then sitting there as the flames run wild behind him. This is the main event of AEW All Out and is a steel cage match, which we may or may not have predicted a few weeks ago.
Lights out unsanctioned.
You skipped the part where people stated that wasn't the same house, and the person whose house got burnt down got really mad about it and posted more pictures online to prove that it was the same house.
I missed that entire thing. That sounds incredible. So I say all that to say, and the reason I say this is because I just don't. What is there to add at this point? These guys fucking killed it. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be fucking awesome.
And the fact that Oracle and I's sole question is like, how can they possibly get more violent? I think gives you a clue. Like, there's nothing to really pick apart here beyond like they should be very proud of this deal. This has been very good, and it's been the highlight of AEW. It started legitimately a year ago. This started.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the highlight of that time.
It's for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
This program saved Hangman Adam Page's career.
It's been big. Yeah,
I know. Honestly,
it started with Swerve calling him a pussy, basically too.
Which was it
was justified too.
I liked Hangman for a while. The Punk stuff happened. That fucked him up. Even if it may not have been entirely his fault. You know, he might have been somewhat blamed for it, but it fucked him up.
It's worse because Moxley rebuilt him some. And then they
that
called him
awesome.
When he went back with the Elite, he went back to feeling just like a kind of backup dancer, right?
Yeah.
It was so frustrating. I think it drove Moxley nuts too.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad he's away from the Elite. Like they did that.
It's important for him. It's important for him.
He comes off with such a bigger deal.
Yeah, man. And like Swerve, and again, this is why I kind of did that there. It's like we've said it about Swerve time and time again, but like the way that he's been able to grow into the role of a main eventer and the way he's been able to like project star power.
Yep.
So I just feel free to jump in, fellas, and add what you want to add. But to me, it's just like, what is there to add? Now, obviously, we'll do our predictions because I think the finish for this is very difficult to navigate. Swerve just lost at Wembley, but Hangman, not only has he never beat Swerve, but he needs a win, man, a signature win, a big win. And so I will jump ahead, as I've done this whole segment, with my finish, which I want to be clear, especially with how many moving pieces are going on, is actually a guess. I think the Hurt Syndicate show up here.
Yep.
And I think Bob Lasher rips the door off the cage and they kill Swerve. And Hangman wins via interference. And of course, being the heel, which believe it or not, Hangman is, folks, Hangman will never, ever concede that he used interference.
Yep.
And when Swerve wants the next match, he'll be like, no, it's done. I beat you. It's over. You know, that's to me where you take this next. You spin Swerve up into a new program. You debut a new act, which gives you a headline coming out of the show. You could even have a mystery element of someone paid the Hurt Syndicate because they're like these kind of mercenaries. Like someone paid them. Who paid them? Was it Hangman? Was it the Elite on Hangman's behalf to try and make their old cohort sane again? Different ideas here. My point is, I don't think this match ends with one guy hitting their finish and pinning the other. I think this match will have some kind of shenanigans at the end of it. It's going to be spectacular. Novi, what do you think the finish? And feel free to add anything else that I didn't cover in that absurd, whatever the fuck I just did.
The one thing I'll add is I love hatred in pro wrestling. I think it's the backbone of what makes this sport great. It's what makes this feud great. It's why it's my favorite in AEW history. It's why I was so adamant it should have main evented All In. That worked out how it worked out. I get it. I concede a little bit. It is what it is at this point. This feels like a huge match. It feels like a huge moment. I really want it to end clean, but I just don't think that it can because they got to keep it going. It feels like if Hangman were to win clean, it would give him a lot. I think it would set him up well. But what would it set him up to do? He's not going to beat Dragon. And what are they going to... He's going to go after Jackie Perry? I don't think so. I think giving a big debut at the end of the show is a good way to do it. I think your idea probably is what I'm going to go with as well. I didn't really know where I was going to go with it, to be quite honest with you. I was just kind of going to figure it out. And since you said that, I'm going to go off the back of what you said. And I think we're going to see some Bob Lash. And that'll spin off into where it spins off.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, if Hangman just actually beats him, it's like, what does that achieve, you know?
I don't think that you can do a sequence of Danielson beats Swerve, Swerve gets his house burnt down, Hangman beats Swerve like clean. I just don't. That seems.
And it does. Even if it isn't Bob Lashley, do you agree? Like, it does more for Hangman's character if he
character
wins
development.
Yeah, he wins in the exact same fashion.
Yeah. The whole thing is him. You've never actually beaten me. You had to have.
Yeah, and then now he does.
And then he doesn't.
All this other stuff. So you've never actually beaten me. He's a hypocrite. He's gone crazy about it, and he's gonna. Now they might do a whole thing where he acts like he didn't know that they were coming,
which I would actually play with. Yeah.
He's still gonna take that win.
Oh, for sure.
And for what it's worth, I think Bob Lash is pulling the cage off, and I think he's spearing the fuck out of Swerve like into the fucking cage in some fucking crazy spot that's gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
Like
Mox and Kenny.
Yeah, he's gonna like fucking steamroll Swerve, and it's gonna be insane.
They're gonna flip this thing, where now Swerve's gonna be the one who wants revenge and chasing, and obviously he's and it's. I mean, he's gonna work Lashley. One thing we haven't mentioned, and I do think it's happening somewhere in this show, is Moxley's gonna do something on this show, and we haven't even mentioned him. I don't know what, I don't know where, but he's gonna do something.
Danielson.
I wouldn't do it here, but I think that's coming. I think that's the Wrestle Dream match. But I just don't. I would do like I can't help. I picture like as whatever this Moxley thing fleshes out into this group, and you get more members into it, because I think there's going to be several people in this group,
which could impact the Bob Lash stuff.
Yes, I think there's a chance that's all tied together. I mean, there's a chance that that'll be the reveal later, is that was all tied together. We don't necessarily need to know that it was tied together tonight, or I guess it is tonight now.
Sure is.
Lost my train of thought.
Wouldn't be tied together.
Fuck. But that's
John Moxley.
Fuck, what was I gonna say?
Josh Barnett.
Chen O'Mac.
Marina Shafir.
Mirko Krokop. Igor Jensen, Rampage Jackson.
But I think Lashley and Swerve is pretty interesting. I think that's where we're headed. I'm not sure what Hangman's gonna do in the meantime, but that'll be interesting to find out.
I used to be the way you used to do graps was like you'd feed the guys, you'd set the guys' next program up, right? So that they have something to go into. And I just think Swerve's gonna take a loss here. Like, you kind of need to.
I remember what I was getting to.
Bang.
Was I picture like the big BCC thing where they're like, they come to Mox and they're like, what the hell are you doing? And then they get beat down by this group. And that I don't think you do the Danielson thing tonight. I think you build to that. And that needs to be a big moment on like a Dynamite where you have a segment where they finally come face to face. And it's like, hey man, what are you doing? And then they beat the fuck out of all three of them. Because I assume Pac will be there. But 4 of them maybe. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be, this thing is fascinating, man. I don't know if it's going to be good, but it is interesting. I don't either, but it is interesting. They've got like this overarching thing that
they do need stuff like that, and it is performed well. So hopefully it's good. I think there's going to be people involved in it that are going to be deeply unfortunate, to be honest. We'll see. We shall see. All right. Oracle. Anything to add regarding the steel cage? I know you kind of chipped in there with the talk about the finish. So anything else you'd just like to throw in?
No, not particularly. I think this is going to be a pretty damn violent affair. I'm fascinated to see where they go with this in terms of the body of the match and how crazy they get. It's going to be a very interesting deal. I'm super excited for the finish we predicted. If it doesn't go that way, I'm interested in what they do,
Yeah, for sure.
This is how many times have they main evented a pay-per-view that wasn't a world title match? What, this is the third time, maybe? Third or fourth? Because the international title was Mox and OC last year, and then, of course, Sting's retirement this year.
Yeah. Christian
Moxley.
and Darby.
Moxley and Omega did it at Full Gear, right?
But would this be the first with no belt? Well, Moxley and Omega, you were just saying that would be the other one, right? Yeah, that would be the best comparison. That was, of course, the first pay per view in the TV cycle. So, yeah, it's a big deal.
There've been double or nothings ended a bunch with the
Anarchy. Yeah, true. That went poorly for us, didn't
it? Yeah, well,
that's nothing new.
Yeah.
Oh well, never mind. It is a big deal. No, it is a big. It is a big deal. Let's be real. It is.
Yeah. Sure.
And it does kind of worries too strong because they're grown men. But I do.
What if the finish is Shane McMahon slams the cage door on Swerve?
Stop.
Look, I've been consistent on this because I think there's a real chance he's coming in. I am very seldom the guy who does like the hyperbole, like this is the end shit. But like, I'll be completely real. When and if Shane McMahon comes in, I will. Like, I may not be on these shows for a bit. Like, I'm just being completely honest. And anyone who's on this screen with me, especially Matt and Oracle, will know this is not me being performative. Mm-hmm. There are very few people in the world that haven't committed an actual crime that I want. Like, some people that have committed crimes that I want on wrestling shows more than Shane McMahon. There's nothing I want less in AEW than Shane McMahon. I can't think of any. To me, it is like the dumbest possible idea.
He's not even good.
He's not good.
No.
He was bad. He was a terrible TV character 5 years ago. The last time we saw him, he tore his entire fucking whatever he did.
One of the funniest segments in the history.
Yeah. The last time we saw him, the time we saw him before that, he embarrassed himself in the Royal Rumble, made a fool of himself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It is such I haven't got the words at my disposal to explain to you how bad of an idea it is. I think it is like
but
unfathomable.
One positive is
it's funny, I guess.
No. There's one
but
positive.
It's not.
It's pretty
Contrarian Alex's tweets when he turns on Dynamite to watch.
Okay. If Contrarian Alex would review Dynamite, it would be worth it because that would be funny. Him doing a play-by-play.
The most honest and truthful answer that I can give is that I'm willing to give it a shot, but I think it'll be terrible. And I also am, this is sad to say, but it's just the truth. I'm really hoping that this Netflix documentary is going to be the end of this concept and possibility.
That's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other part. It's kind of loaded.
So crazy. That I don't ever want to see. Like, I know it sounds like goofy to say. I don't want to see a McMahon anywhere close to AEW, especially like that documentary is like you saw the 4 names that are on there. They got The Rock, John Cena. Like, come on now. It's going to be the shittiest, the biggest lie of a documentary ever. I don't want to have any of that tied to AEW at all. I don't even know. It's like it's an actual chance. It's so unfortunate, but that's you know.
We'll cross this bridge when it comes. Hopefully it doesn't come to be, because I do think it would be like I think it would be a terrible mistake. I'll leave it there.
I think there's a real chance that it does legitimate damage to the promotion.
So do I.
I'm not going to be all hyperbolic and say it's the end of, but I think there's a real chance that the small base that they have left wants nothing to do with this guy. Yes, there's people that are popping for it and think it's funny, and that's fine. But I think the small base that they have left, it's going to run off.
And here's
not all of them.
It depends what. So look, while we're doing this, we'll just do it now, okay? If he comes in and does a small thing that leads to him to like a Sting style tag match where like Darby's opposite him and they do a stun and fall through, something like whatever. What I'm saying is, if he's like the anchor of like this Moxley angle,
right,
and he's a main character on the show. I think it could be like some of the that's important actually. Yeah, like because there's different versions of this. I wouldn't do any of it, but if it's just like a one-off for a publicity stunt, like whatever, wrestling's dumb. But if it's like he's actually the money behind Moxley's faction, like fuck off, dude.
Can I end this conversation before we wrap the show up?
Yeah,
something that sounds meaner than I intended it to be.
Yeah.
Okay, but. And I'm being critical, but I'm obviously not. Again, it sounds meaner than I'm intending it to be, but. This is where we have to remember that professional wrestling has no morals.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think you have to just come in knowing that things like this can happen, and your favorite wrestling promotion might have.
For sure.
My
But
thing
let's
is
be
Oracle,
clear,
and I'm being
forget the
100%.
morality.
Yeah, I don't care about the morale. I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm being
No,
honest,
that's all I'm just saying.
he
That,
just sucks. Like that's the.
no,
If
I'm
he
not,
was
I'm not
an
saying it doesn't
entertaining
suck. I'm
TV
just saying that,
character.
like, I think sometimes the coveted AEW, the coveted other promotion that actually got to be, we actually got another number
For
2.
sure.
It might do something like this.
Of course,
And
it's wrestling.
I don't think it's that. It's a big deal because it would be bad, but I also think it's like, yeah, welcome to the world of wrestling.
Oh,
That
yeah.
probably
I
wouldn't
don't
surprise me.
expect anything different in that regard.
Yeah.
Wrestling sucks. The
Yep.
only thing I can really add is like, oh, is there an echo? Does anybody else hear that?
There is. I think it's young Novi. Let me quickly. Let me keep going.
Okay. Yeah. So like wrestling sucks. The morals are very all over the place. The only thing I can really add to that is like this base is already very fragile for
Yes.
a million reasons. But I
Yeah.
think like there is a problem going on with one of their active wrestlers and her boyfriend that is very much alienated. Sounds good for me. That is alienated and made a lot of members of the fan base, especially queer members, not feel great. And so I think like Shane coming in, I think a lot of people who are upset about that would not love Shane coming in. And you have to, as a company, just be careful with those types of things because this is it's built off of being, I don't like using the word progressive, but like a lot of AEW's fan base is a lot more progressive than WWE's was. That inherently, that's kind of like what it was. And everybody I've met, like, it's kind of like the vibe I get. And so I think like bringing him in, and there is no proof that he has any involvement in Vince's stuff, that he knew anything, whatever, but you are still like, yeah. And someone pointed out like Flair, Saraya, and Callis. Like it's a lot of things compiling.
I think it's a very fair point to make. And I think there is always room to have the conversation. I think Oracle's point, I don't think you disagree on this. I'm just, I guess, trying to reframe the conversation it's that I don't think any of us are ever surprised. That doesn't mean it's right. Right. And you're correct.
I never said
no, you never said that. You're just, but I do think
sometimes, and this is where I am being, I don't know, I don't want to go to, but like, yeah, I was kind of being critical of like, I just think that they're not
above it, basically.
Sometimes there's a naivete when it comes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We're giving him to.
I'll just say with progressive fans, I think there's a naivete that.
Yeah, this is different and that's different. Yeah.
You're watching wrestling, like I don't know what to tell you. Like,
but I think we're giving Shane way too much credit. We're giving Shane way too much credit making this a morality conversation. We don't need to be. He fucking sucks. Let's just leave it there. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean he does suck. I haven't liked Shane match.
There you go.
In quite a while.
The people who actually think Shane's a good idea don't watch the show, and they won't watch the show when he's there either.
It will get a great social media number when he debuts.
Yep.
And everyone will do like tweets like see, and then he'll be on TV. And then
no one was watching the Fed for Shane McMahon. No one's gonna watch AEW for Shane McMahon.
There was a time that I liked Shane McMahon. That time was a long time ago.
We've talked about this enough. It hasn't happened yet. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
But the point of this show was not about Shane McMahon, who we will do a Grin Grab the show on in January, which might well be the next time I talk about him, on air or off, for that matter. The point of this show was tomorrow night's AEW All Out, and I think, hopefully, it was clear over the last 3 hours.
Yeah. Good God.
But we're actually very excited to watch this wrestling show. We think it's gonna be...
Can I give my prediction on Swerve?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll be quick.
Please, I'm sorry. That's my bad.
No, you're fine. We deviated. I actually disagree with like everybody. I do think Hangman wins. I think it's clean. Or like not clean, but I think he's just pinning him. I think like I do think the Hurt Syndicate show up. I think it's like after the match is over. For this specific story though, I think you need I think Hangman needs like straight up win without anybody helping, because then he's gonna have to win like you doing something crazy that's going to make him finally realize like he's gone too far. And then Swerve also, Marcus pointed it out really well. He needs to realize like that he's gone too personal with everything he's done in the last year and a half. Yeah, and it's costing him, and he needs to, like, after losing both matches, he's gonna realize it, and that's gonna
could be good. Yeah.
And dealing with like having to realize that he went too personal and cost himself while also dealing with a new threat in Lashley is going to be a really good story.
Yeah, I like the idea of actually allowing him to redeem himself as a character. I think that's there's something to that, Devin. We'll see, folks. We're going to find out live on the air tomorrow. LNG Gold, Grin Circle went up. Myself, Novi, Caden, the Oracle of Wrestling. And I think that's our lineup. We'll see if anyone else stops by, but
I won't be there.
That'll be the crew, I think, for the Grin Along.
I might come in and put comments in the chat every once in a while without listening to you guys at all.
There you go.
I didn't even mean that in a mean way. I'm just going to be watching the show, so...
We'll be live at some point in 0 hour. So if you haven't already, sign up. Last week we did Bash and Blim. We had a hell of a time. You also get access to the Holbert House Show, My Match Monday, Fave Vibe Friday. This Sunday we have a retro Grin Along. We'll be watching the Nitro from September 98 with Fire Me, I'm Already Fired, and things of that nature. Manny the Hoop will be there.
Classic Nitro, right?
Yes.
And like full. There's the one after Stark and Annie is really good, but this show
Yes, I'd say it's the last. And it's one of the greatest moments in the history of Monday Night Wrestling, which, again, relevant after the morality conversation we just had, but it is what it is. Once you see it, you'll get what we're talking about. So that's Sunday. I have a date on, let me actually say this because otherwise I will forget to get out there. Wednesday, the 18th of September, when Dynamite is done, the first Full Sail Ahead will be live. Myself and Katrina and Alex talking about September 2014 NXT TV. And then in the days before or after that, somewhere around there, we're going to do a TakeOver Fatal 4-Way watch-along. So there's some things coming up on the NXT front. Oracle and I will have a date soon on School of Wrestling. And we have a date on School of Wrestling. Grindication will lock in for a Tuesday.
School of Wrestling is Sunday, September 29th. Probably 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to go ahead and just throw that out there.
Beautiful.
And yes, that is so I can watch the first block of Red Zone. But
hell yeah.
Okay. We have someone here in the group who turned 27 years old. I have only a present that the Oracle of Wrestling would give.
Oh, God. Okay.
The man was born in September 1997 here. Therefore, the first episode of Grindication will be September 1997 worldwide.
Oh, yeah. That is a good
worldwide gift. From September 1997.
Beautiful. And we're doing that on a Tuesday, correct? Going up?
On a Tuesday, probably either the third or fourth Tuesday of the month, depending on where we put Grin Grappler. It'll be the other one, most likely.
So. All right. Beautiful. Thank you for the gift, Oracle. I appreciate it. So,
and Grindication coming up. We're going to do any of my stuff.
Yeah, it'll probably be the end of the month, so we have more time on mods and stuff. We will do it, but it's just like give us some time to schedule everything. It's our first month doing this, so the schedule will it'll get more as we go. We'll get more used to what we're doing and what we're not doing, and what it looks like. Also, stay on the lookout. There'll always be wacky shit that pops up, especially as we do some TV stuff. Alex wants to do a Greatest Royal Rumble watch along, which will just pop up at some point on your schedule. So, things of that nature coming up. All right, let's do some plugs and get out of here because this is a hilariously long show.
We got to get to 3 hours now.
We're going to get the plugs will get us there, don't worry.
Yeah.
Novi, where can people find the YouTubes of the Noviac?
I am at Noviac on YouTube. I will be on this channel quite a bit. I'm kind of trying to be on every retro show just because I'm the guy who hasn't watched it before. Right. So it'll be fun to add that little dynamic in there. If you enjoyed that sort of thing, if you enjoy me on the shows, I do a pre-show for Dynamite at 6:30 every Wednesday. I had Kaden on. He was my first ever guest, and the last guest was Joe. Popped a big number for me. Next week, we have Wrestle Hook. That'll be this coming week, actually. And there'll be a new video, not this week, but next week. So be on the lookout for that, 10 a.m. EST on Saturdays.
Beautiful. Check it out, folks. All right. Confirm Shoot. What's going on with the Confirm Shoot Enterprises?
Nothing.
Fair.
Ohio State plays tomorrow during the pay-per-view, so I'm going to be watching that at the same time.
You mentioned, yeah. You're going to win, right? It's an easy game.
Yeah, Bengals start on Sunday. Some races to watch this weekend. You know,
Atlanta.
Races?
yeah, Atlanta. Shane Van Gisbergen. I got my new hat.
Are you still doing this bit? Yeah?
Yeah, man. I quite like it. It's quite good, honestly.
Joe, have you ever tried to watch a race before, a NASCAR race?
I don't think he'd like it.
I don't think you would either, but it'd be funny.
We should do a Grin along.
Oh, good call. Atlanta would be a good week to do it too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
I'm a fan of cinema and art. You know that. It is what it is.
This is cinema, honestly, and art in a lot of ways.
This is, yeah, I don't know about NASCAR, but this definitely is one of the longest pictures of the year.
Anything else to plug?
I call the Grins pictures, so I'll let you know that about me.
You can email Joe at latenightgrin.com now.
True.
You can email me at matt@latenightgrin.com. You can't email anyone else because the accounts cost money, so we're the only two that have them. Let's see. What else could I plug?
The shop.
The shop.
Yeah, not the LeBron show, the Late Night Grin shop. Late Night Grin shop.
Oh yeah, latenightgrinshop.com. We have some shirts on there. I'm gonna put up a new shirt soon. It's just got Late Night Grin in Japanese on it.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna get that to the machine gun. He wears it on NXT TV.
I think that's it. I don't know. You can follow me, I guess, on Twitter if you want. Confirm shoot. My Twitter handle. Do I have anything else to plug, Joe?
I don't know, mate. It's a question for you, really, isn't it? I'm not sure. Probably not. I think you've covered it. I don't think you had anything to plug, so
I
definitely.
didn't. Are we confident in the Bengals on Sunday? Yes, it's the Patriots.
Definitely.
Yeah, y'all
definitely.
win.
That's a lock.
Yeah.
I got Patriots.
Grow up. And then there's something else I was going to say, but now he's thrown me off again, so I got no idea. I actually had some. Oh, stay tuned.
Me off again.
Stay tuned Monday for the big press release where AEW's TV deal finally gets announced. And Joe and I,
please, can we please just? I'm praying. If anyone at WBD is watching this show, and God forbid you are,
Get it over with.
just
Get it out.
get it out there now, please. I can't.
Jesus Christ.
it'll be.
How much longer?
I think it'll be Monday, as per my sources, which I don't have any sources, and I'm just making that up. But I think it'll be Monday. If they announce it on the pay-per-view tomorrow night, they're unserious.
There's people in the know have declared it done, fully legitimately. Like
It's done. Yeah,
it was a year ago.
I can't confirm that. I'm just
Someone
saying
posted the Scrooge McDuck thing. I think it was Zarian. Zarian knows his shit, so I'm not saying it to be like that. But do you remember that when Collision came along and it was like, stay tuned, folks. We're coming in for a landing. It's a fucking year ago.
Yeah, they got to announce it during the week. You don't announce something like that on a fucking weekend. So they got to
announce it now.
I agree. They should have done it on this show, honestly. Tony should have come on this show. We would have done infographics for him and broke the whole thing down. And
God, we would have.
I would have been happy. I would have
50 people subscribe. Yeah, hell yeah,
brother.
it's gonna be Grand Slam weekend or Grand Slam 100%.
I'm making jokes, but like, I would fucking sit here and ask Tony every goddamn question I can think of about their TV schedule. Be popping huge.
You'd be talking about fucking Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega. It'd be great time.
Yeah, well, that would be a problem, but
booking the territory.
Fucking logistics. Joe and I just asking if he's thought about running smaller buildings and then getting a 45-minute answer.
What about Center Stage?
Oh, Center Stage would be so fun.
There's so many places. Like I was watching the TNA Impacts that happened at the Manhattan Center in 2014. I was thinking Collision would be so sick at the Manhattan Center. That building still looked cool in 2014.
Run a Dynamite in Lakeland, Florida.
What's happening in Lakeland, Florida?
That's where they did a Supercard in 2017.
Oh, there you go. Modern history there from young Caden Lee. I thought it was like where Clash of the Champions was out.
No.
They should run that dome in Chattanooga where they had that
Tokyo Dome.
I went to. Oracle knows what I'm talking about. Was that Hickson or
on the
get that
on the
dome?
on the Best of Sting DVD? They have him and the Great Muta versus the Steiners. And I was reminded of the thing where everyone would always say the Egg Dome. Shivani just over and over again yelling, the Egg Dome. Used to be better.
Yeah, they should bring that back.
Tony Schiavone.
Yeah. Anyway,
By the way,
folks, this has been the
Imagine the
Late Night Grin.
AEW Best of Sting. Imagine that.
Wait, did Caden get to plug his stuff?
No, we haven't done that.
Anyway, this has been the Late Night.
No, I've got loads of plugs. I've got loads. We're going the distance now. Caden Lee, you work for Fightful and Wrestle Purists, which are two places I've never been. Tell me about the experience and what you've got coming up.
Well, first, follow me on Twitter at Kaden, Kaden _FTW. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers. I'm at 889, so I have a while. But please follow me.
Get him there, guys.
So tomorrow morning in it's 2 a.m. So in 8 hours, I will be on Fightful Select at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central to preview AEW All Out in Chicago.
Now I think we should go another hour.
So if you want to hear me repeat my predictions, just go over there. Who
are you working with over there? Who are you sharing the ring with?
It'll be myself, Rob Wilkins, and Chris Doc Mueller from Bleacher Report.
My God. All right. Okay, there you
go. So subscribe to Fightful Select too. Subscribe to both. If you're not subscribed to Late Night Grin, subscribe to Late Night Grin. So you can watch the Grin along. So I will be on the Grin
money
along.
more.
Yeah, do this one first and then do Fightful. I don't get paid over there, so do whatever you want to do.
You don't get paid here, brother.
And I know.
He's on the spreadsheet, though. He's on the spreadsheet.
It's 2 a.m. I'm very tired. I also, I'll be on the Grin along tomorrow. Go to WrestlePurist.com. Read my feature on Bryan Danielson. It came out 2 weeks ago. It's still relevant. Go read it. I'll have a part 2 up eventually. I will be UF plays. Our kickoff is at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. The 0 hour starts at 7 p.m. So I'm literally going to go in, watch the first drive, and come back to do the Grin along.
Who are they playing?
Stamford.
Oh, they're gonna lose that game.
Stamford.
Yes, team.
Samford?
Isn't that New York? Isn't that WF territory in Connecticut?
I don't know where it is.
It's Sanford. Yeah.
They're gonna lose that game.
They might.
Yeah, we might lose to an FCS. It's very depressing.
We've lost 25% of our audience in the last 20 minutes. This is like a dynamite overrun.
Well, we can get into another college football team that's going to lose on Saturday.
We got a post show to do too, by the way.
Western Michigan.
The Gamecocks.
Okay, so I'm gonna do my final plugs one more time, real quick. Which will take about 11 minutes.
Run down your whole schedule.
Grindication. 3rd or 4th Tuesday of September. September 1997 WCW Worldwide. Joe, myself, and any guest who want to join us.
Mm-hmm.
September 29th, Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern. The Obscurities of the Ruthless Aggression Era in Oracle's School of Wrestling, where we break down many interesting things from the Ruthless Aggression Era, including Tatanka matches, Pit Bull matches, Pit Bulls being that
Mr. Worldwide,
Kid Cash, Bob Holly matches. So many interesting things to come. That will take place throughout the entire rest of the year of 2024. Each month, the Obscurities of the Ruthless Aggression Era. Tomorrow, a must-win game for both Kentucky and South Carolina. Kentucky will probably win. I actually think it'll be kind of a close game. South Carolina's defense is good, but our quarterback doesn't even know how to read a defense. Kentucky will pull out the win by about a field goal to a touchdown.
What time is that game?
That'll be it. That's a 3:30 start on ABC.
Thank you.
For anyone who needs that in the chat.
Oracle will be on the Grin along.
I will be on the Grin along tomorrow, yes.
Which felt like a more important plug, but nonetheless.
Yeah, that was definitely an important plug. I will be there tomorrow.
He'll be there. You see his reactions live to matches like Pac and Will Ospreay, which sounds box office to me. I would like to plug a good podcast after the absolute shit that you've sat through for the last 3 hours. Center Stage Chronicles, and a new episode has dropped, which is a great day for me. Go check it out. Loss, Chris Zellner, who has the best voice in podcasting, and Rob Naylor as they talk about World Championship Wrestling. Go check that out. It's awesome.
It's a message board legends right there.
There you go. Saturday show, we talk about the Sunday show, Nitro. That will be at 4 Eastern. I think we're going to try to do that at Novi if it works for you. That's when I've booked Manny, I think, 4 Eastern. So, because I don't want to be in bed too late because I have to do my match Monday the next day. All right. That's what's coming up. Folks, we really appreciate you. This has been a ridiculous show, but I actually think it's been pretty fun. It may not have been.
I have one more plug, Joe.
You do? Sure.
I checked my email and I forgot about this.
Right.
In celebration of the upcoming Global Superstars pack in WWE 2K24 that comes out on September 18th,
Cool.
There's a Jade Cargill Ask Me Anything on Discord. So if you head to @WWE Games on Twitter, there's a link to join the Discord, and you can ask Jade Cargill anything that you want. As per her recent comments, I would recommend not asking her questions about AEW, but you can ask Jade anything you'd like.
Yeah,
that's @WWE Games on Twitter.
Yeah,
and I forgot to give Ari Emanuel my account information. Oh God, we're still in the air. Sorry.
Thank you to the great people at WWE 2K for their support.
Yeah.
Thank you to MJF for keeping us on the airwaves.
Hey Max.
And thank you to partners that are soon to be announced for making this a new era for the Late Night Grin as we soar ahead into a land of bold takes and concealed opinions that are vaguely disguised as grins and entertainment. We hope you have enjoyed this for the last 3 hours and 6 minutes. We certainly have enjoyed doing it sometimes. There's a stretch in the middle there where I got somewhat frustrated. But I'm glad we discussed Kota Ibushi and where he stands here in September 2024. With that in mind, I have been Joseph Burt. That has been the Noviak, the Confirmed Shoot, the Caden Lee, and the Oracle of Wrestling. We are the Late Night Grin. We would like you to leave a comment below this video telling us about which television network we should sign with, or maybe something about wrestling or NASCAR. Like the video, leave those comments, subscribe, become a member before tomorrow's Grin Along. Thank you for your support. Keep grinning. All hail. Enjoy this wonderful outro. Goodbye.
Bye.